I go, Mom, I'll have that a spatula. So,
Hold on. Am I saying spatula wrong?
am I saying it wrong?
Am I saying it wrong?
No, were you saying it wrong?
You're saying a spatula.
A spatula or spatula?
Is it a spatula?
A spatula. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
I used
How
to
do you
say
say
a
it?
spatula. Spatula.
You were saying a spatula.
I was.
Tops Off World Tour. Portland, Maine on the 25th. Uncasville, Connecticut. Reading, Pennsylvania. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Thackerville, May 16th. Tulsa, and ending in Austin, May 18th. Tops Off World Tour.
But this year, we gotta get Wallet.
Is it bazooka gum?
Yes. So good. You know why this is good? You know the stuff with the baseball cards?
Yeah.
Sort of like
Yeah.
powder. It wasn't fresh.
Yeah.
This is fresh.
My favorite thing to do in the world is to microwave bazooka gum for 10 seconds.
Oh, I love you. No, I'll tell you why I say that, because it sounds absurd or sarcastic, because I think I need to put a pillow under me.
There, yeah, here.
Is that all right?
You want that one or this one?
I don't want anyone to think. You gotta have good posture.
I sit crisscross applesauce all the
Do
fucking
you
time.
really?
Yeah.
It's David Spade.
Really?
Back hurts or something. I think how I write it off.
Yeah.
So like,
Oh, he does actually. I think he does have a bad
he
back.
needs a special chair. Yeah. Here we go. Wow. Hold on. Here we go. You know what? Now I'm gonna get this over here.
Yeah. Get yourself settled.
Yeah.
Really get yourself comfortable.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, this is so embarrassing, but I'm going to admit it because, you know, Mr. Rogers said if it's mentionable, it's manageable. For more serious things, I think.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, it applies to everything. The other night I asked a comedian, does your crotch ever get off-centered on stage and you have to fucking fix it? I cannot continue my show. But you're afraid to ask somebody that because what if they go no?
Yeah.
You know?
I remember when we were
That's so weird.
we were playing football when I was in 7th grade, and you had to wear a tail pad, and because the tail pad was so tight and you had hip pads, it was like a girdle. You couldn't itch your butthole, and my butthole always itched. And I remember I thought I was the only one, and then turns out not just Dane and Louie had itchy buttholes, but this kid was. I was like, said something. He goes, "What's the matter?" I said, my butthole's itching. And he goes, "Oh, mine itches all the time." And it was like a connecting moment. And I was like, "What do you do?" And he goes, "Fart real hard." And I went, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah, fart real hard." And then I was like waiting for a fart. And I just had to go in and itch my butthole.
Itch your butthole.
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly in the same league. Because it's like, you just, wait, what was I going to say about the, never mind.
No, my big one, I gotta be honest with you. This is probably one of the biggest conversations I ever had in life, was with my buddy Obi on a beach. And he said, "Hey man, can I talk to you about something kind of private?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "There's a thing that we all make fun of, but I do. And I'm wondering if you do it too." I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "You ever do something where it's like everyone says that if you do it, it means you're gay?" And I go, "Yeah, I know what you're talking about." And he goes, "I do it." And I go, "I do it too." And he goes, "We're talking about jerking off, right?" And I went, yeah. And it was this.
But you weren't talking
No, we were both talking about jerking off. And when we were kids, they said in our high school, they said if you jerked off, it meant you were gay. And
Because you're playing with a cock all the time.
Yeah, and it was. I was
That's
like,
so mean.
I just came out of the closet to myself. I was like, I guess I'm this weird gay guy who only likes my dick, and I'm into women, but I guess I can't stop. I tried to stop jerking off, and I couldn't stop. And I had that moment with Obi on the beach, and I was like, whew, and then it was like fucking crazy, like almost like coming out to your friends. And we went to our buddy Weecho, and we're like, "Yeah, man, we both jerk off. Do you jerk off?" And he was like, yeah, I do. I haven't told anybody. And I was like, okay, it's not a secret you have to keep anymore. And then Todd, I swear to God.
Because this is such a different reality than my reality, because I didn't have that fear.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I had it for real reasons.
But we went to college 3 months later, and all anyone talked about was jerking off. All anyone talked about was jerking off. And I was like, wow. Holy fuck. And then you'd meet the one kid who goes, "No, I don't do it." And you're like, "Oh, you're still in the closet with your friends. You can come out. It's okay."
We did have a kid that said he has had an accent, and I still remember, he goes, "I'll only touch it when I'm washing it." And we're like, "You probably wash it all day long." Look at him scrubbing how many times are you going to wash your dick, Steven?
It's dirty. I can't get it clean, Mom.
You know, when you hear about like, that age when you're finding out about yourself and high school, it's after that, but around whatever, 13, 14, 13, when you start to like, and I hear about it. It wasn't until like, I really thought about it. Like, I was as bad as everybody else. I would do it with my brother in the room. He was over at his desk and I was like in the bed. Like, so when you think about that, how out of control did I have to be to go, I gotta do it. I can't stop myself.
I wonder, I mean, I would do it. Sounds even worse, but I would do it like, because we always slept in beds as boys and you slept in the same bed. It'd be like a king bed or a queen bed, maybe a full bed. I slept in a full bed with a dude one time. And I would do it like he's asleep. All right, I'm good, And I never even thought about it. And now I wonder how many dudes were just laying awake in panic going, the fuck is he doing? Well, I hope he doesn't roll over on me.
Everybody probably caught everybody. You know what I wanted to say? I've never said this on a podcast because I forget.
Is it the N-word?
I'm so vain that I go home and I look what I look like a lot. And I feel good today. I feel good. I got a good haircut the other day. I feel really good. And then I go home and I look at it and I'm like, and I just like, it's like when you're out and you look you leave the house feeling good. Like you go, I feel good. I'm not. And then one bad mirror can put you in a foul mood.
Or one good mirror. Like the mirrors they have at some hotels where you get in and you're like, whoa, I look fucking good today. And it's just the mirror's fucked up and it just makes you look longer. I don't know why they don't make all mirrors like that.
I'll tell you what I want to know, and I don't know how to tell this. I know there's a way. I don't want someone to tell me, well, on the camera, I want a service that I look in one mirror and I think I look good. Mm-hmm. I really do. I'm not playing, I'm ugly or anything. If I look at one mirror, I go, I actually like the way I look. If that's what I look like, hey, today's a good day if I find out. But then I look at another mirror and I don't look so good. I know it's lighting and all that, but what I want to know, which one do I look closest to? Somebody tell me. I'll brace myself. I just want to know. Like, because some days I feel really good. And I look in the mirror, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Is that what I get? Like, and then I hate that I give a shit so much. Like,
I care. I got vain. When I was drinking my hardest and I was doing podcasts, I would come up really red. Like really, really red, my cheeks. And I never gave a fuck about what I looked like on a podcast. I never thought about it once. And then I started, because I was unhealthy, people started pointing it out. God damn it, he's fucking red as fuck. And then I got really vain. And then at a certain point, I started going like, should I get hair and makeup for podcasts? Because I'm just, like a lot of it is I spend time in the sun. But then the other part is I was fucking high blood pressure, fucking red cheeks. And then I was like, it's crazy. I got caught in this conundrum because I was like, the internet would mock me if they found out I was going through hair and makeup to do a podcast. But I would only do it so it doesn't distract them so they can hear the podcast. Right. But I
if it's mentionable, it's manageable.
I looked at who was it today? Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think he's the fucking best. I love that guy. And I for the first time saw sunspots on his face. And because he spent a ton of time in the sun.
Yeah.
And I see those on my face. I wish I could I would love to get all my sunspots removed.
Get them lasered.
I don't even know how. I know
everything about it.
Really?
Yeah. I've been into lasers, someone that I know that knows a lot about them. Lasers that have been around some lasers have been around for 20 years. They're just using them now for different reasons.
Really?
But yeah, lasers are amazing. Like, cause I know what you mean. You see a little bit here.
Right here. I've had one, when I started working at Travel Channel, I was in the sun all the time. And I noticed it one day after a lot of sun. And I went, oh, that's crazy. I never even thought about it. And now it won't, it's always there. The less I'm in the sun, the more it starts to go away. But I fucking love being in the sun. I love getting in a pool. I love getting cold and then having the sun warm me. It takes my anxiety away when I get in the sun.
Probably I've never liked the sun. I mean, I like the day and I can appreciate, but the hardcore sun, I always feel I don't look great in the sun, in the sun, to be honest with you. But speaking of lasers, I went to this place called Rivkin Aesthetics. I know the name, Rivkin Aesthetics, and I did some lasers, and I was really happy. Like,
really?
Sometimes you do something, you're like, all right. There was no doubt about it.
Really?
And but even at the simple dermatologist with those, I'll just keep up on it. If I see one, the dermatologist is so close to my house, I go bzz, 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 zap it off. Just keep it as healthy as I can keep it, But also like everybody, I also want to embrace not being obsessed with it. I almost shaved my head about 2 months ago.
Really?
Just one of those days I thought, just because the hair's on my head, like you ever see someone with hair, it's covering their head, but it's not attractive anymore. It's wiry.
You've had the same hair for 20 years.
Well, today it feels good.
You have had the exact same hair for 19 years.
Well, I've done some work to that too.
For real?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
I did PRP.
Is that the way they inject the?
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah. I think absolutely.
God damn it.
Absolutely.
There is a thing.
But let me see your hair. Do you care? Oh, you're going to, I look like now I'm working for it. But also, hold on, before I go down this path, which is like later I'll see it and I'll be like, oh, Todd, were you being, like, isn't it, I guess it's better to try to get ahead of this stuff and not worry about it. No, you thought I meant get ahead of it and do it, which I mean that too. But like, to not let it bother you so much.
To not let it bother you is the thing that I think sometimes when we talk, I am a very sensitive person, and I'm a very thoughtful person, and I sometimes wonder why my fans like me, because I feel like I'm too sensitive. Now I know there's dudes listening to the podcast going like, is this really two men talking about getting laser treatment like they're women? And I go, yeah, I am, because I do think about that. I do think about, like, when I remember, here's the thing about aging. The first second you start losing your hair, that is the first dig of the grave. That's your mortality showing up. When you start losing your hair as a man, that's when you realize, oh shit, I'm not a child anymore. Like I'm losing my hair.
Yeah,
and it fucks people up.
It did. I was like, whoa, what's going? And by the way, what you just said, I really want to soak that in, as far as, because I'm aware, but I'm sitting here. I would not talk about this. I don't know how many years ago, maybe 4 years ago. Yeah. And then when I see other people talk about it, actually Daniel Tosh was just talking about this, or somebody's talking about honest, like whatever they do. Men always did this stuff. They're just embarrassed. Yeah. Look, they just kept it a secret. But you know how I know? Because me and you are two guys, and if we're thinking it, everyone's thinking of it. So I thought, like, I wouldn't normally talk about this, but when I see someone else go, just be honest, just get ahead, it makes me more confident. That's why when you brought it up, I would have just gotten out of it 3 years ago. I would have just not changed the subject nervously, but just gone, I do whatever I can do. But now I think, well, why not talk about it?
It makes you feel, normalizes it's the thing about losing weight too, is all of a sudden you feel better about yourself when you see yourself in the mirror and you like what you see, as opposed to, I used to wake up and I'd go to the bathroom in the mornings and I would walk past the mirror and I would see my body in the side profile like an Alfred Hitchcock. And I was so fat that I would see that and I would go, why do I even have fucking mirrors? Why do I even have fucking mirrors? They just have bad news for me. It's like Twitter. I'm looking at a fucking mirror and not liking what I see.
How about when you walk by a mirror and no one's in the hotel, you're all by yourself and I'm sucking my gut in, going, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? Today. Like, I'm sucking my gut in even for myself. Like, come on, Todd, can't you be? Because people that stick their stomach out, like with pride, that maybe they're 30 pounds overweight, which I've been, I just get bigger shirts. I wear the jackets. I know what to do. But they just stick it out. And I used to not in my act, but sort of make fun of them. Go, can't they? But then I think one day I just stuck it out. I was like, oh, and I went, oh my God, it feels so good to just to let it go finally. Real quick, my sister-in-law said, because I made a joke, I said, folks on stage when she was in the audience, I go, the hardest part about doing stand-up, a lot of people don't know this, is sucking your gut in for an hour and 15 minutes. I go, I'm sucking it in right now. So later she asked me if that was true. And I go, it must be on stage. And she goes, you're going to get so much more tired. You're not taking normal breathing patterns. Really? So, which made total sense as soon as she said it. You're holding your gut in. It's not good for you, I
try to stand right. There is a faux personality that exists. I saw this, I don't know if it was like a documentary. It was about a fat kid, big kid in his friend of groups. Maybe his name's Chili Willy or whatever. Like he's got the goofy big fat guy name. I'm saying fat guy mean, and I don't mean it mean because I identify with this guy very closely. And you'd see him having fun, and he was a life of the party. But then they'd cut to him like around midnight, and he'd just be a little drunk, and no one was talking to him, and everyone was paired up with girls, and he'd be by himself.
Wait, where did you see this? I'm sorry.
I fucking don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. And he's
fishy.
He came out and he's It's me, Todd. It's me.
So no, go ahead, because I have go ahead.
It's so
Oh, it's Hold on. Oh my God! Like I didn't get the joke that you're like when I said fishy, I didn't mean that.
No, I
you
got
said that. I went, oh, like there was this kid, and there was
this kid. He was overweight. Life of the party. This kid.
Oh.
And then he was standing alone, a little drunk. No one wanted to talk to him.
Were you mid sentence?
No.
Oh, so I was. When you just said like, you're sensitive. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Because I'm very sensitive.
I know. I connect easier with sensitive people.
Yeah, I'm very
Gary
sensitive.
Goldman is very sensitive.
Yes. And by the way, I don't think there's a fine line between sensitive and then where it's problematic.
Yeah.
I don't think it's problematic. I'm sensitive. But isn't everybody deep down?
No. Tom Segura is not sensitive at all. He has no sensitivity in him. I think sometimes he is like if you were going to say Tom's an elbow when I'm the head of a penis when it talks to like sensitivity. Like I feel it all.
You're positive? And by the way, what if you ask Tom? You don't even have to tell us what it is. Like what if you said to Tom, you don't even have to tell us what it is, but are there things you're sensitive about? No. It's okay. So, I guess what I'm saying.
Things that would maybe keep me up at night. Tom has the ability to just say, "Yeah, I'm not going to deal with that. That's not on my radar."
Well, there's the healthy side of that, obviously.
There is the healthy side, but he just goes, "Yeah, I don't really give a fuck."
Yeah,
and he
also could be different from sensitive.
Yeah, but if you said to Tom, even if with his weight, he'd go, he was like, "Yeah, I got to lose weight."
I'd be curious to see what a therapist would say about that.
I would love to do couples therapy with him.
By the way, I did couples therapy once with a friend.
Really?
And it was, most people don't do it. What made me think about it was a friend of mine, there's corporate therapists when you're two people in a corporation. And I went, oh, that's like, and I thought everything I learned in couples counseling, I apply it to friends anyway.
You should.
Everything I learned in couples counseling with my ex, I apply to friendships. And it's good, and I'm glad that I do it, and it makes me a better friend for doing it.
Is it similar if you are in a gay relationship and you guys break up? Can you maintain a friendship, or is it just like straight relationships where you're like, yeah, fuck that bitch?
I bet it's the same in both. If it takes more than both people being like, mature and, nobody wronged anybody in a vicious way. Let's put all that out. It just didn't work. You're two mature people. No one did anything wrong. My ex, I've had two relationships. My ex, my first relationship I was ever in, we're still very close.
Yeah.
But he's the one who said it's time to he wanted to break up. But I was honest with him because I didn't think it was fair to be, would have been mean to him to know I was thinking the same thing. Like I adored him. I loved him. We to the last day, I wanted him around. Whenever we had friends over, he made me laugh so hard. But the romance was out of the relationship. Not the love, but the romance. You know what I'm talking about. We still adored each other. And so it was good for me too. I'd just come out of the closet, and it was good for me to be able to go and I wasn't ready to, I'm not 80 where I meet someone and go, well, we'll be friends, And then with my last relationship, we broke up, but it was the same thing. I think luckily, because someone that's that close to you, it is nicer to have him in your life. And we're close too. So I think it depends on each situation. Long answer for a short question.
No. I like to know that the romance disappears in those relationships too.
It does.
Because every one of mine that I ended, or that I didn't really end any. I just usually cheated on people, but I just was like, this isn't here. I'm not here. I don't want to be with you sexually, and I'm done. But I wish I had maybe I'd be a different person. When I started podcasting, an online store was the furthest thing from my mind. Now I'm selling t-shirts, hoodies, shot glasses, posters, koozies, and it's so easy. All because I use Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit $1 million in order stage? Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soaps, offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify has got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers. That is so important because they have the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify's magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklyn, and millions of other entrepreneurs from every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way, because businesses that grow with Shopify. That is all we use. Our businesses, from when we started, our business has multiplied in the most seamless, effortless, enjoyable way, all because of Shopify. The reason you see my merch under this YouTube video is because of Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Bertcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Bertcast now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Bertcast. If you're looking to celebrate with some special drinks, here's to alcohol deliveries with DoorDash. The alcohol selection on DoorDash is top shelf. With thousands of stores all over the country, you're sure to find what you're looking for and more. Beer, wine, mixers, mocktails, and more can be delivered straight to your door with DoorDash. Order your alcohol with DoorDash today and drink in the savings. Use code BERTCAST to get 25% up to $15 value on a 35 minimum subtotal on your next alcohol order. For eligible users only. Terms apply. Must be 21 plus to order alcohol. Drink responsibly. Delivery and promotions available only in select markets. Here's what's beautiful about DoorDash. So I needed sweet vermouth and Campari. What a pain in the ass to get in your car and go get sweet vermouth and Campari. Sam Mural wanted to drink with me, and he wanted to make the drink. And I was like, went to DoorDash. Got sweet vermouth and Campari straight to my door. I didn't have to leave anywhere. Sam showed up at the same time DoorDash did. Order your alcohol with DoorDash today. Drink in the savings. Use code BERTCAST to get 25% up to $15 value on a $35 minimum subtotal on your next alcohol order. For eligible users only. Terms apply. Must be 21 plus to order alcohol. Drink responsibly. Delivery and promotions available only in select markets. I said to Leanne the other day, I said, there's two things I wanted to say to you that are Todd Glass thoughts, because I like the way your brain works. One was Isla's. This is brilliant. She said to me the other day, she's a smart kid, but she goes, wait, we're sunset people. I said, what do you mean? She goes, you chose to live in California so you could see sunsets, right? And I went, no, I chose to because this is where the industry is. And she goes, wait, people don't choose to live so they can see either a sunset or a sunrise? And I said, maybe everyone sees a sunrise. She goes, no, but on the ocean. Do people move to Florida because you can get both? You can get a sunset and a sunrise? And I was like, I don't think people think that deep about it, Isla. And I am a sunset person. And when I came out here for the first time, I remember going like, oh, let's go see the fucking sunset. Because in Florida, on the East Coast, you see sunrises. On the West Coast, with sunsets. I always love sunsets.
Do you know I know nothing about this at all? Like, I thought the sunset was just the sunset. But as you're saying it, I'm thinking, okay, of course, it's different other places.
We get great sunsets.
Oh, by the way, the fact that she thinks that it's
crazy that she would broad stroke everyone on. Did they choose to move to LA so they could see sunsets?
Right.
And I was like, what?
How old is she?
I don't know.
Yeah, oh!
17.
That's timing, motherfucker.
Yeah, 17. My
The
favorite joke ever that people do is "Don't touch me." I love that. That makes me laugh every time.
Wait, what's that?
When like Gary Valentine. You remember Gary Valentine?
Yes.
Gary Valentine was so good at this.
He had so many funny bits.
He was so fucking quick. And we were doing an episode with Linda Blair from The Exorcist. And we were sampling beers and eating food with them. And we were laughing, and Gary's laughing. He's like, this is crazy. Guinness and brownies. He goes, the thing about it, Gary, and she touches his arm, he goes, don't touch me. And it was so funny. It was, I spit beer out of my nose, and Linda Blair didn't get it. And it was so fucking funny.
Yeah, because it has nothing to do with not wanting her to touch him. It's this warm, great moment. Don't touch me. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I saw him at the Improv one time. This made me laugh. His whole set, who knows what he was talking about on stage. His whole set, he was just simply trying to hop up on the piano, and he just kept coming up short the entire time. And he'd just go like, and he'd blow it off like no one saw it, and then he'd do it again, and it got so fucking funny that you're like,
Gary Valentine was which I love, was a bit machine, always bits, and anybody who I found out is that like does bits all the time.
Yeah.
I love even more, and I'm already a Conan O'Brien fan. Like I adore Conan O'Brien.
I love Conan O'Brien.
Right. And a friend of mine that wrote on the show for a while, of course I asked, they said, oh, he's bits. And I'm like, always bits, always bits.
Yeah,
That's the energy.
Gary was consistently bits. Everything. And I love inside jokes that don't go away. He would always say, Bert, you sleep on your stomach? I go, no. And he goes, okay. I was like, what does that mean? He's like, never mind. Don't even worry about it. But he'd bring it up all the time. Hey, you sleep on your stomach? No.
Running bits. And if you thought about it, I'm not asking you right now because it's hard. If you had to sit down with a piece of paper and go, what are the longest running bits you have? Well, one of them is, for me, one is with a friend, and it's watch your mouth. When it's anything that sounds like a curse or you can't say that anymore. Yeah. Like if you're really at a Chinese restaurant and you're reading something genuinely on the menu and you go, hey, whoa, you can't say that anymore. If it sounds anything like, or like, if they say a word that's got a bad word. Oh, whoa. And then the funniest part to me is you go, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. And they say it again. You go, whoa, what did I just fucking say? You can't say that anymore. And also watch your mouth if it sounds dirty. It could sound dirty or a curse word. Two more. One is you have to pick real quick. They say a phrase like, oh, I'm tired of, maybe they're hitting the ketchup. I go, give me a new ketchup. I'm tired of slapping this ketchup. I made that up. But it's something like that. You go, that was my first country hit. And then they have to go, what? Tired of slapping this ketchup? They have to figure out what you just said. And the longest running bit was when I was in ninth grade, the rolls weren't ready at lunch. The lunch ladies, we had hamburgers. She goes, oh, the rolls aren't ready. They were in the oven. They were frozen. They ran out of rolls. Yeah. So at the end of the day, because me and my friend Brian were both in line together, he goes, are the rolls done yet on the bus? And, that was funny at the end of the day. The next day, okay, cut to, we did it 5 years ago. And he goes, and I remember years ago, he asked me he goes, is this getting old? I go, oh no, it's just getting better and better. The roll's done yet? Yeah. Are the rolls done yet? And that's the longest running ones.
I don't think I have. I mean, I have some. I have to have some, but I don't know. Like, I can't think off the top of my head of a good one. Our family dynamic. It's funny. I always envied people with inside jokes, like a running bit. I loved it. Matt Frost. You remember Matt Frost, the agent at CAA?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's a running bit guy, and he would always he would ask me if I liked his boots, and he would do it all the time, and it would be like he'd go, hey man, you like my boots? And I go, yeah man, they're cool. And he's like, oh cool, because I just got them, and I just don't know if they work for me. I was like, yeah, cool. We're on a road trip, and then later you go, have I asked you about my boots yet? And I go, yeah, I like them. He goes, you do like them though? You're not just saying that? I go, man, I love your boots. And he goes, okay, cool. He's like, hey man, for real, what do you think about these boots? And he would just bring it up. And it like at the seventh time, it becomes fucking hysterical. And then you wait for it. And then you're thinking, The other one, the crazy ones that are is when you make fun of a cultural catchphrase. Like, let's take the phrase, let's fucking go, right? Every boy who's about to kill a beer, walk into a bar, fucking start a fist fight. Every boy in America, every white boy in America uses the phrase, let's fucking go. So say you and your friends notice that and you start making fun of it. And you're like, oh, let's fucking go. And then all of a sudden that becomes your catchphrase. And now you are indeed the fat going, let's fucking go. We used to make
to
fun
the
of,
onlooker, I guess.
to the onlooker, they see it and they're like, is he doing a Borat impression? And you're like, I'm making fun of the guy that does Borat impressions, but now we enjoy the Borat impression.
That's Bert. That is I hope I'm not connecting this for no reason. That is the fear of me living next to my neighbors and hoping they don't hear things out of context. So I'll tell you why I did this. You know the fans that you can buy, like you look like
on Instagram. I buy them followers.
Well, somebody did that for a friend of mine once, and he goes after he was on my podcast, and they bought him a ton.
Oh my God!
And he goes, Todd, it's really, it's sweet. It was so sweet.
That's the most brilliant move ever. They
bought him. Daniel, would he care if I said his name? I don't think he cared. Daniel Kino.
I know Daniel
Somebody
Kino.
did it for Daniel Kino when he started hosting my podcast with me.
That is the move. By the way, that is the move.
They don't
know.
God,
don't buy your own fans. Have everyone on your podcast and then invest and buy them fans.
Can you buy fans on TikTok?
I'm certain you can. They have.
Please, somebody, I'll take them.
I got put
I don't
in,
care if they're fake.
I did a tour one time for fans. They're so crazy.
Well, hold on.
You finish your story.
Yeah. And then what's your story? So you can put a button in it. So we all good. When we watch it in post, we're gonna be later. We're gonna be like, look at us.
It doesn't even matter. It's MySpace.
What do you mean?
I got MySpace followers. You could get MySpace.
I'll buy whatever. Please, people, buy me whatever you want. What were we talking? So you know the fans like it looked like almost like a fire truck would have to get smoke out of a building, like maybe 30% bigger than a trash can lid, and it's this wide and it's about this round.
Yeah.
I bought one. They sell them at Lowe's because when I'm outside, see, some people thought fans, they were talking about their neighbors to create white noise, not put it on the other side of the garage. I don't have it right where we're at. And it has made my life so much easier. Even I bet the people upstairs who rent from me appreciate it when they have people out on their deck and I'm downstairs. There's a sense of like, you have to watch what you say. And with me, if it's out of context, we usually are saying, I'd like to believe, for a lack of a better word, progressive, open-minded, okay. But then we do bits where we're not that. And then what if they just hear that?
What if they just hear the bit and they think that's you?
That's who they think we are.
Yeah.
So sometimes I will go out of my way and I go like this to my friends. Literally, I'll go point over there and I'll go, but people are like that. I mean, you get people, it's like, and I'll say something so positive and put it into context.
We had dinner at our old house. This is, by the way, I don't know if this is cultural. I don't know if this is an LA thing or everywhere thing, but in LA, you are close to everyone. And so they are within 10 feet of you sometimes when you're having a conversation. At our old house.
I mean, I have the ficus trees up, but the
ficus don't do fucking thing.
No.
we had a conversation at dinner one time. I wish I could know exactly what this is about. I'm certain it was about race and I don't want to implicate anyone because you could do the math of who these people might be. So we're having dinner and it was heated and it was very open, free conversation. And I heard my neighbor open his door. I didn't hear it close. I heard him open his door and I didn't hear it close. And I started talking as if I was being recorded. I stopped saying anything that would be, and I started talking so progressive that one of the guys goes, "Are you recording this or something?" And I went, No, these are how I feel. I'm Bert Kreischer. This is how I feel. Thinking, what if he was recording us?
And you're not doing a bit.
Not at all.
I get it, Bert.
I was panicked, going like, this is a private conversation, but if you're recording it, it would ruin. All you got to do is take the phone and put it over the fucking 6-foot fence. You can't have anything taller than 6 feet, and record it and show everyone out of context. And what you would say is a open-minded, free conversation. I mean, conversations about during the vaccine that you'd have in the backyard, and I'd just be like, shut your fucking mouths, guys. Don't say anything. I get like that crazy.
I know this isn't exactly the same, but you got to make me a promise. if I tell you this that I think is in that area of the trance, this thing you went into, tell me if you go, no, it's not the same thing.
Okay.
You don't have to make pretend that it's this. But when I'm in the car and I see a cop, I get nervous.
Yeah.
So even if I'm having real conversation with somebody, I start having fake conversation. And in the beginning of my relationship with Chris, my ex, he would just start slowly going, yeah, and there was a lot more hand movement to make it look like everything was all right. Because I know cops look for people that are nervous and suspicious because I've done ride-alongs back in the day. So I would always try. And he goes, what? I go, oh, I get nervous when I see a cop. He goes, yeah, but we were already having real conversation. He goes, yeah, but there wasn't I had to go.
I stopped when I would do radio. I got caught. When the mics would be off, I would have fake conversations because I didn't want to burn any bits, but I also thought I was being recorded on cameras and streaming to the internet. And I'd be like, it's crazy. I love my wife. And they'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, I love her. I love her. I love her. I'm so good on the road. I'm not drinking this week.
Oh, Bert.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you something right now.
What's that?
Now maybe this isn't even fair.
Okay.
Because I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, I love it.
But I'm jealous of you. And I think this will help me get included in one of your things that you do. Whenever I see you out and doing stuff, I'm like, I want to be there. Like I saw you on the cruise with Andy Frasco, who we both adore.
We both love.
And I was like, I want to do that. I felt like in high school when you're like, I want to be like, I want to hang out there. I would just.
That's the greatest compliment I've ever gotten in my life. Because you know that is who I am, is I want to be there. I want to be places. I have FOMO is like I had a fucking therapy session and the therapist says, sounds like you suffer from FOMO. And I went, that's not a real thing.
What is it even as a
fear of missing out? That's why I have a fear of death.
I don't have it with everybody. Just when I see, look, when I get it,
I get it for fun times. When I see fun times, I go, I wanted to be there.
With every podcast, every time I see anybody talking about anything fun, I go, how come nobody includes me in anything?
I'll include you always.
And then I go, well, people do. And then I think during the pandemic, you had me over your, and I think but I do right away. I go, I always get very jealous of, but lately, especially, when you're on that, first of all, why not send some love out to Andy Frasco? I just saw him at the Fonda. Yeah, he sold out the Troubadour. Then he just went to the Fonda. And let me I think in a short period of time, how could I motivate? That's what I think. Someone to go see Andy Frasco.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. It's not worth leaving your fucking house if something's just, it's good.
Yeah.
Good ain't shit. When you got to pay to park, Andy Frasco will knock your dick into the dirt. That show he just did, and he was good. I saw him a year ago, and he was great. But that show at the Fonda, he went up like he had something to prove. And guess what? It was unbelievable. It was the tightest fucking one song, little bit of talking. The next song, boom, 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 boom. And then I know what I think he might end with. But my friend that I'm with goes, maybe he should have ended on that because it was pretty fucking big after an encore. But what is your favorite song that he does? You sort of like it as your anthem?
It's my anthem. Dancing on My Grave.
Yeah, that's what he ended with.
Oh, fuck. I made him play that over
on
and
the
over
cruise.
And I said to the crew, hey, I said, everyone, just every time he shoots that, cover him, because I want to make that the anthem of the cruise. I have a problem. I get emotional way too quick these days, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm dialed into something. I don't know if it's a brain tumor. I keep saying to Leanne, I'm vibrating. I'm always vibrating. I have so much fucking energy lately, and I'm so alive. But I cry really quick, and that fucking song kills me. I sob cry every time I hear it. I love it. I love him. There's two things that are interesting in that conversation. I have a friendship with Andy Frasco, independent of being a fan of his, and I'm a fan of his. So my friendship is not based on me being a fan of his. It's just based on me liking him, which is interesting in and of itself. But then I'm also a fucking fan of his. It's crazy. It's like I was a fan of yours before I became a friend of yours. I would sit in the back and watch you and just be blown away. And then I got to know you. And so, but it's always going to be tainted in the fact that every time I see you, I get excited. I go, but when I see Andy, I get excited as a friend I haven't seen in a while. Because all our relationships were through without seeing each other perform. And so I had the same thing with Zach Myers, lead guitarist for Shinedown, was over here yesterday, and we do a podcast, and he's like, "Hey, I said, "Will you guys play a song?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll play a song." I had never seen him play I've seen him at a concert play the guitar, but I've never seen him play the guitar, and he was so fucking good that I didn't know how to say it. Like, dude, you're really like. All of a sudden, I'm like, fucking wow. It's like I was friends with Tom. I was friends with Tom before he got funny. But I was friends with Tom before was friends with Tom before the stand-up. Like, we were friends when we were we'd watch each other's acts, but neither of us were good. So it wasn't like we were fans of each other. We were friends first. But I fucking love Andy Frasco.
Wow. Believe me, two things. I've been doing good so far, staying on track with a clean conversation. Yeah. So help me out here. I want to be, I think I might have even written it down. Oh, well, I sent you a video last night, which leads into the set. You said crying all the time.
Oh, that fucking
and I want to talk about that. I want to express, because I'm going through the same thing. And I think probably a lot of people are. Mr. Rogers, mentionable, manageable. But also I wanted to talk about something quick about Andy Frasco. So you remind me to also afterwards to talk about the sensitive thing.
Yes.
I'll make this so quick, but I think it's a video worth watching. My friend Vinny saw Andy Frasco at a music festival in Denver. Mm-hmm. He didn't go to see him. He texted me. He goes, "Holy fucking shit! I saw this guy tonight, Andy Frasco. It's so funny to remember." He goes, "I thought maybe he just had a good show." And then the next day we talked on the phone. He goes, "I thought maybe he just had a good show." We went back again the next night. Holy shit, like, I know what he means. It's like a revival. It's like boom, boom. But after I see a guy like Andy perform, I'm side referencing here for a second, I always think, do that or get the fuck off the stage. If you're not going to do that, please go home. I wish you nothing but health. But if you're not going to shred it, then get the fuck. I don't have time. Andy Frasco fucking shreds it. On Andy Frasco's worst night, he's fucking great. Mm-hmm. So I go look at his videos online, and I'm like, holy shit, like, I'm loving the guy. I asked my podcast listeners, tweet at Andy Frasco and say, please play The Barn, because that's behind my house.
Yeah.
Eventually we get on the phone together. We switch numbers through direct messaging. I don't realize he knows a lot of comedians.
He's a fan. He's a fan of stand-up.
So I get on the phone with him. I'm a little nervous. I'm starstruck because I see him playing in front of 20,000 people, you know, little bars. And I'm like, wow, this guy's, and I said, I would love you to play. He goes, I'll play. I go, well, my birthday is December 16th. I know you texted me you'll be home around then. He goes, I'll play on your birthday. He goes, I'll bring Andy Avila, who plays drums and lead vocals, and then I'll bring Ernie Chang, who plays the trumpets and does vocals, saxophone. And so everyone wants to be in the studio. So about 20 people we pack in there. I say, don't anybody just bring your cell phones charged. And I gave everybody gelled flashlights. I said, look, everybody help out. If you see something in the corner that we're shooting and there's no light on it, just 3 of you pull out your flashlights. So Andy knocks on the door, my birthday, with a mushroom, mushroom birthday cake. I don't know it at the time. And all the candles are lit. I open the door and I go, holy shit. I start to cry. And I go, Andy fucking Frasco, Ernie and Andy Avila are at the door. I bring them into the podcast studio. I have a 3-piece band to bring them in. I want to make it. I hired an ice cream truck to be in my yard after the show. He comes in. We talk, he does songs. We do bits, he does songs. We talk, we do bits, he does songs all night long with the pod. And one of the kids that works on the podcast, Aaron Simon, he goes, can I take all the cell phone footage and turn it into something? And I said, yeah, I would love if you did. He goes, I'd just like to prove I could do it. So it's online on YouTube. It's called Glass Frasco Christmas. And it's a half an hour, shows from him knocking on the door till about 3 a.m. He sleeps over, which you got to fucking love. And I had a plaque made from my bed that says Andy Frasco slept here. Of course, I took a picture and I sent it to him. So that's how I met Andy Frasco. And I love that he's in my life. I love him. I'm going to crowd surf before the year's over.
Oh,
I'm going to. Have you ever crowd surfed?
No.
No?
No, I never have.
I would think you would have.
I know. Now, as soon as you said that I was like, yeah, why haven't I tried anal? Like it's like I should. That's in my wheelhouse,
right?
Yeah,
I would think you. Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to do it. He called on me to do it when we were doing the podcast tour, but I chickened out, and I really hated myself for it when I went back to the hotel. I said, next time you won't. You know why? There weren't. I was afraid because it was the podcast. People were seated. You know what I mean? I opened up with stand up. I was afraid they'd drop me.
I need more Frasco in my life.
You need
I just like
you should write a song about that.
We had a really great. We had a really
Can I
great.
get a little more tequila?
Yeah, please.
I'm going to take my jacket off. Is that
take
okay?
Take your jacket off. Yeah.
And can I ask you one favor? Just before we're done. By the way, well, never mind. I'm thoroughly enjoying this conversation.
I'm so enjoying this, and I'm excited for what I'm about to tell you.
And just before we're done, all I need time.
Are you texting downstairs?
Is from your heart.
Tell them to bring ice up
to talk about the crowdsource.
Yeah,
when we're all done, we'll just give me a little bit of time from my heart. And you saw the video, so
it's fucking amazing.
Okay, so back to.
So I'm doing Wells Fargo Center of Philly, your hometown.
I was there while you were doing it.
Were you in Philly?
Yeah, I was in Philly.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we tried, and it just didn't work out. And then I fell asleep.
Oh,
that's the
right,
night
you were.
Yeah.
And so, Andy happens to be in Philly, and I text him and I said, "Hey, we're going to the Flyers game tonight. You want to come?" And he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." So we meet him up at the hotel. I wasn't drinking at the time, I don't think, but I drank that night. I hadn't drank in a while, and I really love taking time off and then drinking.
Same with pot, right?
So I will smoking pot. I've been smoking pot every day, and so
I'll smoke if you smoke. By the way,
that's all you had to say. Where's a lighter, Halston? Oh,
wow, this is just. I'm very impressed. Anyway, the whole everything, this place.
So, thank you, buddy. So, so Andy meets us at our hotel, and I go all out. I get a Sprinter van for us. We have back door entrance, like we don't have to go through the fucking line. We have a box. We had a full fucking box, and I introduced Andy to Zins. He was smoking at the time, and I introduced him to Zins. He started, and he takes his first Zin. We have our first drink at the hotel. We get into the Sprinter van. It's our whole group. We're filming it. We're having fun. We go through security. We get up to the box, and it's very seldom that I get to. I don't know if there's a right way to say this. I have certain things about me where I start to vibrate and I start to live a little faster and a little louder. It's I don't know what Leanne calls it, but it's like firing hot. And I decide. I find out they have a 50-50 raffle, and I decide I'm going to buy.
We talked about this on President Steve. You fucking won.
I bought like $4,000 worth of raffle, and Andy was there watching it, and he just is ear to ear laughing, going like, "You're buying more?" I bought $4,000. I won $29,000. It was, but watching him watch me live the way my brain works. My daughters don't love it. They don't love it.
But you love your daughters.
I love my daughters. I did it at the Dodgers game. I bought $5,000 worth of tickets. And can I hold on? Can I ask a thing? Hang on. Can I ask you a partial judge? Is Leanne listening downstairs? Partial judge. I bought $5,000 worth of 50-50 raffle tickets at the Dodger game. Pot's $185,000. Minimal investment. I'm still up from the Flyers, so it's all one money. I'm not losing. Is Leanne listening downstairs?
Oh, this is so...
She's in a meeting? Okay. I just want partial judge. I buy $5,000 worth of 50-50 raffle tickets. Now, roughly, that is rolled up. That's like this many fucking raffle tickets. They are sequential from one number to the last numbers all. So when they say the number, if you have 925 and it's 903, you know that you're out of the you bought too late. So I buy the raffle tickets. We're at the Dodgers game. It's opening day. They put up the 50-50 raffle thing, and Leanne goes, hey, they got the number. The number's up. Quick, get a cell phone, get a picture of it. And then clicks it. And as I go to get my phone to take a click, Leanne already is going through my raffle tickets, looks at my very first ticket, my last ticket, and then crumples them up and goes, fuck it, you lost. And I got upset. And I go, what the fuck are you doing? I go, those are my raffle tickets to look at. She goes, but you lost. I was just trying to get through it. And I said, no. And my daughters picked her side and Leanne picked her side. And I was like, no, that's like saying it's Christmas and you give me a present and you go, it's a sweater. I go, well, I'm supposed to open it. Like I need to open it.
Right. I wanted to agree with her. So here's what I'm going to say.
Thank you. Just that's all you had to say.
Oh, how dare you.
How
what
dare
if you edit this? What if you edit this just there? Just black. It goes black. Thank you very much. Yeah, you know but you know what? Oh, I'm not just saying this to be
okay.
I'd want to hear Leanne, maybe her version where I go,
Where is she? Can you bring her in here?
Maybe she'd go, oh, okay. In hindsight, I realize it.
Nope.
No,
okay. Well, okay, I'm leaving out a very key detail. I said something.
I punched her.
I said something that pissed her off and pissed the girls off. I said, why would you do that? And then I said, you're drunk. And she wasn't drunk. Mm-hmm. She had a couple beers, but she wasn't drunk.
You know why?
She got mad when I said, you're drunk. She went, and Georgia goes, why would you say that to mom? She's not drunk. And I was like, hold on. She had 2 beers, like still. And why would she do that? Like, why? Like, what the fuck? Like, I was angry.
I'm inclined, like, to self-analyze myself to want to agree with Leanne because, and by your fruition, she really lets you have a fun life.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm thinking, like, so if there is something where I'm going to be like, oh, okay, and I agree with you. That's why I'm like, get Leanne in here.
Where is she?
And by the way, the sensitive thing, I want to talk. I love that we're going to talk about this later because I'm just reminding myself because I just had this thought. I'll send you the voicemail. I want to play the voicemail. It was me reminding myself to maybe do a bit about it. But I'm glad that you said that. You know about just crying all the time.
Oh, buddy, I cry so quickly. It is. I think people. I'm certain. I don't really. I say this. I'm not saying this to grandstand on this statement. I don't read comments. I genuinely don't read comments. I have seen some, but I don't read them, and I don't go on Reddit, and I don't go on X. I'm off of X. But I don't do it for my own mental health. It would fuck me up when I saw negative stuff, and that's not cool. And I understand that's part of the game. I get it.
You don't need to see it.
I actually totally get it. I actually totally get it. That is part of the game, and I've been a part of that game too. I've shit on people that didn't deserve to be shit on just because they're celebrities, and so I understand all of it. And I am with love. I'm saying everyone do what they want to do. I'm just saying for me to wake up and have a good day doesn't benefit me to read that shit. So I don't. But the thing, what were we fucking talking about?
About being sensitive.
With crying. So I'm certain that there is a subreddit of Bert crying. I'm certain there's a subreddit of like, how fucking annoying is this guy? What the fuck? He's always crying. What a bitch. Like, I'm sure there's there. I'm not going to stop crying. I can't help it. And it feels good. It's part of a human emotion that you get out of you. It feels good to cry. And if I listen to good music, if you have me talk about the Time Traveler's Wife, I did it on Opie and Anthony. They were like, you can cry? And I was like, yeah, I can cry. And Opie was like, watch, what makes you cry? I said, if I watch any of the Time Traveler's Wife, I'll cry. And Opie, I love Opie. I'm not shitting on Opie, but Opie's like such a jock guy. He's like, come on, let's do it. Put it on. Let's watch him cry. And then he realized what a mistake that was when he was sitting in a room with a grown man sobbing. And he was like, oh, fuck, this is awkward. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think most, look, I saw people in my life when I was younger evolve as they got older. And I thought that they would be honest. That was like my cool uncle or my cool aunt or, they were just. So that's not the reason I do it. But I would think even with a 5 and dime psychology degree, most people would say, well, it's a good thing. It's like, I cry more now than ever. I think I figured it out maybe, But also when I cry, it can energize me. If I'm on the treadmill and I'm tired and I see a video that makes me just, it could be anything. It could be this kid getting a dog and he's so goddamn fucking cute and appreciative that I want to retweet it or not retweet it, send it out on Instagram and TikTok and go, this kid, he's a national treasure. We need to protect him and get him a college trust fund going because of one. I know that little fuck is a good person. I want to see him do greatness. Just cute little fucking kid. So,
dude, dogs fuck me up. Any animal,
so you just start crying.
I go like if anything with an animal. Jason Nash. Do you remember Jason Nash?
Yes, Jason, I just did his podcast.
Okay, Jason. Okay, I say remember. He's still working even more than he ever did. But yeah, he died.
No, he's dead. Jason Nash, people, is dead. No one, please don't talk about it. He gets his family upset, but accept his death.
He was at the very early stages of podcasting. He came over to do a podcast with me. I really think he just came down to get high and get away from Marnie at the time. And they ended up getting divorced. But he came down, we got high, and we're doing a podcast. No, I don't think any of us, I mean, he had a podcast before that, but no one really knew what they were doing. They were just talking. And he said, Can I read you a poem about my dog? And I was like, what? And he was like, my dog passed away. And can I just read you a poem that I wrote? And I was like, someone hit me in the head with a shovel. I do not want to hear another man tell me a poem. And I was sobbing, crying at the end of it.
Of course I opened the car door for her.
Oh, fuck. The fucking Instagram ruined that moment.
I love that it was that bit too. The one that I want to parody so bad.
Jack Doherty. I'm her boyfriend. Of course I opened the car for her. I'm a girlfriend. Of course I sit in the car.
Sometimes.
And I followed Jack Doherty. Okay, everybody? I can't help it. The fucking kids living the life I wanted to live.
Sometimes they're so those particular when they're running out of ideas. So you'll see someone go, I'm Italian. Of course I, drive a car. Well, I think everybody drives cars, It's like, but anyway, I love the ones that are like, whoa, oh, fuck, never mind. I really got high. You know what? It's so sometimes fun. Pot, I'm amazed. And I've been smoking, since I'm like late in life, but since I'm 30, that it will still have times like right now. This is like pretty close to like when you first started smoking pot.
Yeah.
You feel it.
I haven't smoked in a couple of days. Oh, I smoked last night.
Sometimes.
I forgot I smoked last night.
See, sometimes that's
can I tell you something I did last night?
Boom. Yes.
I'm so proud of myself. This is gonna sound so bad. So I got a cold. Do you know who Jelly Roll is?
I know.
A musician.
Yes.
Tattoos on his face. Bigger dude.
I know that I just saw some.
He's winning everything.
Okay, so that's why
he's winning everything. Him, Chris Porter, and Zach Myers want to go to dinner, and they asked me, "Do you want to go to dinner with us?" And I said, "Yeah." Jelly texted, and he's like, "I have." He's doing Adam Ray's show at the store at 9, so I can do dinner. But I'm already on my phone. It's 6:30, 6:45. So I'm like, well, the earliest we can all meet up is probably 8. So you need to be. And so I go, oh, we'll call Katana. It's right next to the store, but it's actually a high-end sushi place. It's hard to get a seat. So I said, hey, I'm looking for a table for 4. I know it's last minute. She said, yeah, it's pretty busy tonight. And I went, Ed Sheeran. And she went, excuse me? I said, I thought you asked my name for the reservation. She goes, no. No. We can definitely seat you. And I went, cool. And then they gave us a table.
Shut the fuck up.
Because it's such a recognized, Ed Sheeran. And then when I got there, I said, listen. I said, I'm here. We have a reservation for 4. A couple of the guys are like rock stars and they're musicians, so it may be even bigger than that. Because Jelly was like, I may bring some people, but I go, and some people may not show up. So I just wanted. She was like, no, totally fine. And then we were just like, he didn't show up. Ed usually shows up.
Oh, I love it. I love the as you're telling me this, I'm thinking on a completely different level. I had a minute experience like that, and I wish I was making this up, but I'm not. I wanted to go to the Cheesecake Factory. Bert, I swear to God, I'm not lying. No, Bert, the Olive Garden. But Bert, you know my safe word, truth?
Yes,
Truth. Like,
yes,
this is true.
yes.
So I think you tell me that, and then I go, right from George Carlin to the truth. So this is the truth. So I wanted to go to the Olive Garden. Now, I know I don't like chain restaurants, but I wanted to go. They opened one up so close to my house. I go, I really want to go to the Olive Garden. So I kept, for like 6, 7, 8 months, I've been asking people, let's go to the Olive Garden. Let's do mushrooms and go to the Olive Garden. You know, food's probably going to be pretty good, but I want to go to the Olive Garden. Just to say I went. I know it's going to be corporate. I know it's going to be corporate. I know.
No, but it's good. This is so fun.
Right.
Let's have a night and go to
Right.
the Olive Garden.
And
And be ironic, just like
Right.
doing the Borat impression.
Right.
You do have to go to the Olive Garden.
so we take mushrooms. I rented there's a company that my ex used years ago. They have old limos. So we took like a limo from like 1978 to the Olive Garden.
Fuck
We
me.
get out, but by the way, Bert, this sort of backfires. So but not the first part. The first part that I'm about to tell you is you'll see why I related it to, like, you know, hey, how you move and you shake and you do what you got to do. So I go in, there's a line. I didn't make a reservation. There's like a 40-minute wait at the Olive Garden. So guess what?
Make a reservation.
So
The Olive
I don't even think, I think you just go, it's dead. They tell you it's
Yeah.
because of the pandemic, you know? And so I go, I just think real quick, I'm with my friend Rob, I'm with my friend Lane, and I go, I know it's the Olive Garden, probably for $10, but you know what? Go 25. So when it's appropriate, I walk over like 60 seconds later. I hate waiting. And I go, it's the Olive Garden. Like, you don't have to wait if it's worth 25. It's not a big deal. I'm not acting like a big baller. So I walk over, I put it down. I go, I don't know if there's anything you could do, but appreciate it if we can. She goes, she sort of laughed. I go, I tried to be tasteful. She goes, you were. She goes, I could seat you right now. So we go right over to this place. We sit down. I'm like, wasn't that worth $25 fucking dollars?
Fuck yeah.
What are the odds that's not going to work at the Olive Garden? So if you ever end up going to the Olive Garden, you don't have to wait no matter how long the line is. If you think it's worth $25 to walk in, be polite.
I got
And
a
then-
fin with your name on it.
Yeah, right. She didn't even, and we went over, we sat near a nice family that was neat and organized. They weren't messy. And you know what? I think they were speaking Spanish. But me and my friends go, you know what? It's like from a distance, it's beautiful. It could be Italian too. So we may pretend it was Italian. And we were really in Italy.
Hold on. So wait, hold on. Hey, can someone make me a drink? But wait. So Isla and I were skiing in Park City.
Do you understand why I related that back to
Yes,
your...
of course, of
Hello,
course.
this is Ed Sheeran. I'm at the Olive Garden.
You know what? Put the name under Bert Kreischer. I don't want to, you know. And so Isla and I were in Italy. Or no, what the fuck am I doing? Isla and I were in Park City, and we were waiting in a ski lift line. And there was an Italian boy. Tell me if you can see why I'm relating this. Two Italian boys, like children, maybe 5 years old, talking to each other. But because it's Italian, it sounds so interesting and fun. And they're like, and Isla and I are watching. And
It's poetic.
The mom sees us watching. She goes, I'm so sorry. And I'm so sorry. And Isla goes, no. It's really fun to watch. It's almost like beautiful. And she goes, yeah, if you spoke Italian, it's annoying as shit.
Of course.
Because it's for them, it's just two kids going like, I don't want to go on the left. I don't
Right.
want to. But in Italian, it's like, I don't want to go on the left. I want to go on the left.
What if you say to her, oh, I got to be honest, it sounds so beautiful. She goes, well, he just called his sister. Oh, okay, I'm going to back away.
They're both hemophiliacs.
Yeah, they're both.
What?
Oh, I said the C word. Is that funny comedically?
I think so. I say it uncomedically.
What if what? That doesn't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Well, wait, you could.
I'll tell you a good story. I like to tether. I like that we're swinging Vine from story to story. So when my first television pilot, I was just telling someone this the other day. My first television pilot was at Fox, or it was CBS, produced through Fox, with David J. Nash. And one of the other lead actors was Elliot Gould. And so we went I didn't know who booked that part, but I booked the part. That's all I thought about was me.
How old are you at this time?
26, 27.
And you live in Los Angeles?
No.
Where do you live?
I was living in New York at the time.
Okay.
And so, I did live in LA. And so we do a first table read. Back then, it was 250, 300 people in a room, especially for these big sitcoms. Everyone's at a table where you can't really you can't see the nameplates because it's not like rounded. It's a straight table. And I don't know I'm meeting everyone for the first time. And as they're sitting down, I'm like, hey, I'm Bert, whatever. And then Elliot Gould walks up and I go, holy shit. And David J is like, yeah, that's who we got to play my dad. And I was like, yeah, fucking Elliot Gould.
See, I hate to ask this because it always sounds so disrespectful. He's still alive, right?
Yeah, he's got to be alive. Yeah, he's got to be old, though. He's got to be 80. How old? Find out how old Elliot Gould is. We became friends. We became friends. He gave me, the reason we hung out is I said to him, I was looking at Juicy Fruit, and he came up and he's like, what are you doing? And I was looking at the gum, and I said, I'm trying to figure out what this flavor is. I go, it's so good. There's not enough Juicy Fruit in my life.
Oh, Bert.
But what
I
flavor?
could come make out with you right now.
Please.
I don't want to interrupt your story, but I want to talk about Juicy Fruit. I'm going to bare my soul about Juicy Fruit, but go ahead.
And then I said, it's so good.
Very good. It tastes so...
It's all the good ones.
Yes.
What is it? And he goes, I don't know. And then he takes a piece of Juicy Fruit and he's like, yeah, there's not a lot of Juicy Fruit out there. It's just, because there's grape, there's bubble gum, and then Juicy Fruit's this weird
Juicy
thing.
Fruit, fresh breath, someone that has fresh breath already, chewing Juicy
85
Fruit,
years old.
chewing Juicy Fruit gum.
I
have a memory of somebody that you know what? I'll tell you this. It was like when I was very much in the closet and I was probably like 23. And this guy played minor league baseball and he was always chewing Juicy Fruit gum. Even if we kissed, he'd have it in his mouth and I fucking loved it. He had Juicy Fruit. It was like he was always chewing. I don't know why. It was like a baseball thing,
Yeah.
But it was so fresh. Does that make sense what I'm saying to you?
100%.
Shit.
So
maybe I shouldn't say make out with guys. You think that'll weird people? I'm 90%.
That's all you do, though, right? That's all you do.
I'm 99% serious, 1% kidding.
So the next day, Elliot Gould walks on set, and I go, I'm going to see if I can remember it. Grapefruit, banana, apple, orange, and pineapple. And he goes, see if that's the flavors for Juicy Fruit. And he goes, what? I said, those are the flavors. And he goes, you've been trying to figure it out all night? And I said, no, I called the company. He said, what? And I said, there's a number on the back of the piece of gum. I called the company.
Wait, say the flavors again? In Juicy Fruit gum.
It's banana, apple, orange, pineapple, and grape. What are the flavors?
Wow. Oh, I never knew this TV was here. I have thought that it's such a clean flavor, but I never thought, why don't we get more of it in our lives? I just knew I loved it. But so here's the question.
They're saying banana and pineapple.
Would you like it in a frozen yogurt?
I would love it.
I think I would too.
I would like it as a soft drink. I would like it as a mixer.
The fuck up.
I'd love a
Kool-Aid. Juicy Fruit Kool-Aid.
Buddy.
Wait, Juicy Fruit? Yeah. Juicy Fruit Kool-Aid. Shut the fuck up. No bullshit. Yeah. We should edit this out and just
start this company. I would fucking love a Juicy Fruit mixer.
Yes.
It would taste so good.
Right? Let me ask you a question. Here's my fear, but I hope it's not true. I don't think it's true. Okay. Certain foods are good as one thing, but you love roast beef or whatever.
Watermelon is great as watermelon, but watermelon juice, you're like, it's a little too much watermelon. How did you just make too much watermelon when I love watermelon?
I'll even take it further. But I don't think it might apply to this. I really don't. So I want to be really crystal clear with that. But you like steak, but you wouldn't like steak flavored ice cream.
Yeah.
It's it's good as steak, but it's not good as ice cream.
Well, they do that when they do that with bacon. Bacon had this run, almost
candy.
And they were like bacon flavored sodas. Bacon flavored.
Oh, they tried
bacon
that?
on bacon.
Did it not work?
It didn't stick. It was a fad.
Bacon soda?
Bacon soda. They had bacon flavored everything. Bacon
I heard of
gum.
Kevin Bacon, but I never heard of baking soda. Is that a friend of his?
I wonder if he had because I the way the internet works, I wonder if he had a spike in his career when that bacon kind of hit big.
It
And he
can't
was
hurt
like-
it. Let's
he's like,
put
you
it
know,
that way. I bet he's talked about it. Let's put it
I
that
wish I
way.
was friends with Kevin Bacon. Can I tell you what I went to do radio the other day? And Kevin Bacon went to prom with these.
Right? Don't you love it?
I love it. And they said, Bert, would you ever go to prom? You ready for my thing? And I'm putting this out there. I'm putting this in the universe.
Oh,
This is real.
are you going to go to the prom
Only.
where you went to high school?
No. Oh, yeah, I'd go to Mount High School. I'd go to Jesuit High School. I'd go to that prom. And they say, you'd go with a girl, wants to take you to prom. Like a high school girl wants you to be her date, she doesn't have a date or whatever.
Right. It's adorable.
I said, I'll go to prom with a dude who is in the closet and wants to come out to his friends, but he doesn't know the right way. And I'll help you be that right way. I'll make it cool. Like I'll.
Did you put this out there?
No, I didn't.
Bert, well, you just did.
I just did.
Oh, that's great.
Like-
Now, by the way, it's not for every kid that's in the closet. It's
Yeah.
for a kid that's in the closet and he wants to come out and would love to do it this way.
And he's like, and his buddies definitely don't fucking know. And they're like, but he plays football. And he's like, you're a star athlete. And he's like, yeah, I don't know how to tell him. And then he hits me up. I go, oh, buddy, I'll be your prom date.
Bert.
And then we show up and he's like, yeah,
Now this has to happen.
yeah, I'll do it for that. Like,
That's
I'd do it.
great.
Yeah. Like that's what I was going to say. I
Wow.
didn't say it on television because I was like, they never brought up the Kevin Bacon thing.
I'll tell you what I'd like to do.
What?
Give a little something towards the evening. I'm going to give you 30 packs of juicy fruit gum. I want to give back.
Pretend I play minor league baseball.
That's Bert. Wait, Bert, that's great. Like,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
I'm not just saying that.
Because there's
Right?
got to be dudes. I know everything's very, very fluid these days. I mean, it's like
But it's still also
in LA. I don't know if it's
Right.
like that in the middle of
I
the
think
country.
everywhere it's tons better than it used to be, but still, so there's still
Yeah.
somebody struggling, Of
Yeah.
course there is.
And so, like, you live in fucking Harrisonburg, Virginia, and you're a bro, and you love Barstool, and you love this podcast and Two Berries, just like all your boys. And you're like, but I also like dudes. I don't know how to tell them. And then you just hit me up. I'll fly out to Harrisonburg. I'll be your prom date. You can pick our outfits. And I'll just be like, yeah, he's
Bert.
gay, but we're all going to hang out and have a blast tonight.
Oh, Jesus.
And then this is your new friend. Now he's open with you.
Bert, that's the good work. That's the good work. You're going to think I'm just saying this, and maybe you'll think it's too high of a, but it's just, look, we all err. We all have faults. We all, but like we try to put some good energy out there. And somebody said to Mrs. Rogers, there'll never be another Mr. Rogers. And I love her answer. God, did I fucking love it. She goes, oh, there will be. You just have to look. There's moments of it all the time. And that's like a good energy thing. Like that's like you being Bert Kreischer and then this person and then making a good thing happen. That's like the good work. And that's like when you can do both and being and being Bert Kreischer all through the whole thing. It's very funny. It's also heartwarming. Yeah. And it's like, oh, now you got to do that. Now, here's what I'm going to put. I'm going to tell you this right now. Okay. How about, and I'll take 80% of the money. Okay. No, I was going to suggest a show, but that's how I start. I'll take 80. Well, anyway, I didn't want to go too much, but I think that's good. That's good stuff. Yeah, I like that. I know, and I want it to happen.
I would love to. I've had. Here's the problem, though.
What the? I knew it.
You ready?
I knew you were going to not do it. Oh, I'm so upset. I'm going to kill myself right tonight. I promise I'm going to do it. Because I'll be so upset because you won't do this. I had a lot going for me. My mom just died a year ago. Oh, I miss her. I wish it was when she was just dead. It was so much better. All right. So back what I mean by that is there's more love, You're like a year after someone dies, you're like, God, I miss when they were just dead. Like that was people were really reaching out to me. But back to you with that, the problem is.
This is the problem. Is like they'd be like, he's only doing it for good publicity. Like he's only doing it. Like if I did it, it would have to be kept under wraps and it would just have to be for that kid and those friends. So because if someone videotapes it, all of a sudden everyone's there's a girl with cancer, and she hit me up, and she has everyone sent me this. It's been sent to me. She has her life goals before she passes, and one of her goals is to party with the machine. And I saw it. And I said that can definitely fucking happen. And I said, I'm going to be in Tampa. She's from Tampa. I said, I'm going to be in Tampa. We couldn't make it that day because I got sick. And so it didn't happen. I go, fly to Atlanta. And they're like, she's cooking eggs with fucking Gordon Ramsay. Like he's one of her wishes. And Gordon Ramsay did it. But Gordon Ramsay, like posted about it and said, I'm with this kid. And there's a thing I find about that, about like it being like a little like when you do it for the internet. And so I said to them, I said, I'll do it. She can post it. She can record whatever she wants. We will not film it. I don't want to film it. And we were going to, now I'm telling you about it. So that's even worse because now I'm like, I didn't even do it.
But here's the sort of maybe the, I don't want to say sad truth, is that I could see why you want, people would want to steer away from that. And I think everyone's dealt with that at one level or another.
Yeah.
But the part that makes it hard is sometimes it can be both.
Yeah.
And it can be both. You can go, wow, that was well done. And sharing it helps normalize it.
Yeah.
You especially with just this specific thing that you're doing, it's you're helping some kid, like, come out of the closet, and it's a fun way to do it. It's like you win the fucking come out of the closet lottery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It makes, God damn it, they picked me. Are you fucking shitting me? So it's very exciting, and it happens, and it is heartwarming.
I guess I could still do it. I just go, and then the people know that I'm not going to film it. I'm not doing it for.
Well, that's what you said. Like they just take whatever they take.
Yeah.
You don't have to share it. Let them share it. But I don't think there's anything. I think it can be both. But I get why you want to like. You're like, I tell you what, because I've made judgments. When I make on Honda. Honda, they have these ads, and I used to have a joke in my act. I didn't do it that long. When Honda would go, I'm all right with somebody, but it has to be at a certain amount. You can't make too big of a deal. You gave $1, And Honda would have these things where they would go, hey, helpful Honda days. And like, we heard you're having a hard time with a new washing machine and dryer, so we got you a new one. No, not for a national ad. You cannot get credit for buying them a washer and a dryer. If you're going to be Honda and you're going to help somebody, you better be paying off their fucking mortgage. You can't go, hey, we heard that we heard that your cat needs a $300 operation that right now you don't have the money for. No, not on national television, all over the internet. You're not going to advertise. You're giving them fucking $680 for a new a garbage compactor.
I just drooled.
Am I making any sense?
No, that makes total sense.
So what you're saying?
So I wonder.
You're not making any money. There's no money involved with what you're doing.
No.
So I think that's a good thing. But
the donating thing, I was like I was. It was. You know what it was too? Is Is
Honda a sponsor of yours? Because if they are,
Go ahead,
I'm sorry.
I would put GoFundMe, and I would always leave my name up because if someone was got hit by a car, I'd be like, yeah, here's whatever, and I'd leave my name up. So I was like, I want the credit. I want people to know I'm a good person. And then I think this was me growing out of that and going, oh, you can do good things, and not take credit for them and still feel good.
Oh,
I only thought it mattered if people knew you did the good thing. Like I was like, it doesn't. Like if no one knows you did it, then does a tree fall into the forest if no one's there to see it?
Well, I mean, ultimately that to put that thought process is probably the healthier one, but maybe you fall somewhere in between. But yeah, that's so funny. It's like you get to the point where you're like, yeah, I know what you mean. Like you just want to say, hey, just so you know, I contributed. Well, I had that with a friend.
I wanted to. Sorry to cut you off. I would always want to share them, and then you share them back in the day, and then people go, well, how come you didn't give money? So then you give money and share them, and then they're like,
right.
Why don't you just pay it off? And then you're like, okay. So I stopped sharing. And so now I'm just at a place where I go, we donate money, but it's at 50-50 raffles. Where I can win back.
Watch your mouth.
I think I had to give back that fucking money to the fucking charity.
What?
No, I think I kept it. I can't remember.
What? What you talking about?
Did I keep that?
Wait, I don't like that character. Edit it out. You see me running towards the camera, and there's a lot of...
You know what this guy said to me on radio? He goes, I love your black accent. Can you do that for me?
You're
and
like, what?
I go, wait, I don't think I do that in my act. But I go, part of me almost wanted to do it. Another guy in this radio interview today said, so you hold the world's record for the longest comedy set, 7 hours and 92 minutes. And I almost said yes, because I was like, maybe I do. I don't even know. And then I was like, and then I go, wait, I don't think so.
Wait, yes to what? I'm sorry.
I almost lied and was like, yeah, I hold the world's record, because I was like, I didn't want him to look foolish, because it was an accurate question.
Right.
And then I would have just lied, and then he would have been, and I was like, what if he was like, I just made that up.
Well, I didn't want to make you look like an idiot. Bert, this sort of same thing happened to me. I have really bad dyslexia, so I don't like when I get picked. I went to the Comedy Magic Castle a long time ago, and they make you pick a card. Right away, I'm nervous. So the guy asked me eventually, I'm trying to make the story short. At one point, he goes, is this your card? Now, I don't remember my card. I remember really trying to remember it. I remember just say it. Because I'll tell you what I don't want to be to this guy, and you'll get this. I won't want to be a heckler to a magician.
Yeah.
I want to be good. Service him.
I want him to fucking kill it.
So when he says, is this your card? Bert, I swear to God, I go, I faked it pretty good. I go, I don't know what my card is, but I go, in my head, he's working here. This is not an easy place. He knows tricks, card tricks. So I go, shut the fuck. I acted like I cut myself off. I go, shut the fuck. Like, how did you do that? But anyway, I realized, but also I know exactly right away what happened. He went, are you sure? Then I get it. He's doing that diversion thing where he goes, is this your card? And you go, no. And the whole room's supposed to go, this guy's a sham.
Yeah.
And then he pulls it out of his ass. You know, there's shit all over it. He's like, look at this. And you're like, oh my God. So he didn't do that, of course. But that's the trick. So when I said, he goes, is this your card? I go, yeah, shut the fuck up. And he gives me a look of, are you sure? And that's what happened. No, I don't know. Please. Don't do that. Don't do that joke in your act. Don't do that trick anymore. It's if anything. But anyway, we'll take a break. We'll be back. Our guest is Bert Kreischer. We'll be going through the night. Bert will take us into 3 a.m. We'll take your calls, 365-4100. We'll take your cell phone calls free in the car. That was really a radio station.
That was good.
WWDB 365-4100. Call us free from your car.
Call us free from your car.
Yeah.
I had a guy do a magic trick to me in Vegas at the Super Bowl, but it was a I don't even know if it was an illusion. He goes, pick a card, any card. I'm ruining the trick. And I picked the card, and he goes, great. Put it back in the deck, and I put it back in the deck. He goes, think of someone you'll see today. And I had 2 names. I had Kevin Clancy and Dave Portnoy. And he goes, I should not know these names. And I went, those are 2 names he won't know. And he said, all right, now pick a name. And I went, Kevin Clancy. And then he goes, all right, you picked a name. And then in my head, I go, I should switch it real quick. And see if he knows. And then I didn't switch it. And I went back to Kevin Clancy. And then he fucking wrote it on the card. It was written on the card. And I was blown away. I was like, but he didn't know if I was going to switch it. Like, what if, like, is he really magic? Because like, what if I had switched it? What if I, Todd, my free will didn't switch it. My free will didn't switch it. I could have switched it.
Right.
I could have switched it.
But guess what? It's bigger than that. Like, I think what you're saying, first of all, to me, unless it's this type of magic, I say, if it's not close up or this, I don't give a shit. No disrespect. I really don't. Oh, I made the Empire State Building disappear. I don't give a fuck. To me, it's close up magic. And I'm sure the guys that do good close up sleight of hand agree with me.
Yeah.
This is the fucking real deal. And when you watch that close up magic, you're like, what the fuck?
Oh.
Like, you think when they earn your respect because you're like, all right, someone's pulling out cards. Because, sometimes it can be, all right, it's good. But when someone knows what the fuck they're doing, it's close-up magic is so much fun. And I think especially if you're on any type of hallucinogenic, what's the word I'm trying to say?
Hallucinogenic.
Yeah, any type. I think.
I almost ate mushrooms this morning.
Really?
I almost did. They were in my fridge. I saw them and I went, I should have a nibble. I'm feeling off today. And I didn't. I worked out and I feel fucking amazing. Keep going. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. Be glory. the mushrooms made me think of something with Andy Frasco. Andy Frasco will make me do things outside of my comfort zone, and I love his. Like when I'm with him, I'm like, Jesus, like I just love him, and I know why. By the way, one of the things that's we can have our flaws, everybody, but our good qualities are. Andy has a quality with you, excitable about life.
Oh yeah.
So it's fun to be around, and it's real. But Andy Frasco will put me in situations where I would not go into myself. He makes me go out of it, and a lot of it is drug related. And you know what? I like it. I like that I don't have to be done experience that stuff. I'll be with Andy, and I always think he knows somebody really well, and there's a trust. We got into a van when I was in San Antonio after my show with a friend of his, like a close friend of his, and he has mushrooms, so you trust the guy. Take mushrooms in a van. I'm taking mushrooms. We get out. Andy later in the night goes, "Oh yeah, how do you know that guy?" It's always something like, "Oh yeah, a dumpster fell on him at and I met him at a music festival." I'm like, "Wait, I thought you knew that guy really well." And then you're in a van doing mushrooms, which is something I wouldn't do in my normal life. And then just going on that tour with him, seeing like what musicians do. I couldn't get enough of it. Like watching them rehearse and it's like. And I know it might sound cliche, but like it's their own language. And I would love being around it when they would be, "Hey, can you do this?" Or, "Well, we're going to come in with that." Or, "Well, don't, you know what? Just give us a second. We'll come in on the 2 count." And I'm just sitting there every night watching these musicians before this band that he would assemble for his podcast. They would fucking turn it up when the show started. And all of them would play after maybe 45 minutes of rehearsal. We'll be back right after this.
Spring is here, which means it's time to clean out your closet. Out with your old, worn-out workout tees and in with True Classic's ultra-comfortable, stretchy activewear. True Classic is made with stank-free, moisture-wicking technology, so you can do it all in comfort and style, from running on the treadmill to running out for beers. True Classic has the gear for you. They've already helped over 3 million men look better and great now. Now you can save big while you move. For a limited time only, get 25% off when you shop now with my exclusive link at trueclassic.com/Bertcast. True Classic shirts are literally designed to accentuate your best features, no matter what type of body you have. Tighter in the arms and in the chest, with a little more room around your midsection. It's perfect. You can't go wrong in a True Classic. The best part, True Classic sells their premium products in packs to help you save. Get started with a 2 or 3 pack of t-shirts today and feel the difference for yourself. I'm telling you right now, when I put on a True Classic shirt, and I have the workout ones, the moisture wicking ones, when I work out in them, I feel jacked. It makes me want to work out harder. And then I throw on the old school ones. I got ones that when True Classic first started sponsoring the podcast, I still have those. Dude, they have worn in so good. Like a good old shirt. There's nothing better than a good old shirt. So if you're ready to upgrade your closet, shop now with my exclusive link at trueclassic.com/Bertcast and save up to 25% off your first order. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. No matter how you move, make 2024 your most comfortable year yet with True Classic. The 82-game preseason is in the books, and it's finally time for the real season. Don't miss out on any of the NBA playoff action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. From the play and the tournament through the finals, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Bro, when I was a kid, the NBA playoffs, and this is when the Celtics and the Lakers were like at it, and the Pistons and the Bulls. That is my favorite time. And so what I found is, just like football, I go back, these playoffs are where I start watching obsessively. I love the NBA action. I don't know. It's just more fun to bet on, in my opinion. Today I placed a bet, Bulls Heat. I'm going for the Bulls just because I did the United Center, and I got to know some of the players. I got some jerseys. And so, but it makes it more fun for me to watch. I get more engaged. And when the playoffs and the finals kick in, oh my God, talk about your heart vibrating. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Bertcast. New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code Bertcast only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. it's crazy when you see a musician. Like I don't do any sound checks. I never do a sound check. I've never done a sound, but I also travel with the same crew. That's not fair. Like Tom does a sound check every night, but he gets a new crew every night, so he wants to make sure that he's happy. I have the same 18 dudes that travel with me everywhere, so they know my levels immediately. I don't need. They can do my sound check for me. As a matter of fact, I've watched him do my sound check for me, and they make fun of me. They're like, when I was 22 years old, I got involved with the Russian mafia.
They do a joke, right.
My wife's ugly. I'm fat. My daughters are dumb, and so, but yeah, those musicians. My favorite thing. I would love to go see sound checks instead of the concert.
When what you said about who cares? One time I was with Rory Scovel. He goes, "Let it go."
Rory,
I always try to remember. Well, he's passed away. Rory Scovel is dead. People, let the word get out there. Not a lot of people know. Rory Scovel passed away over the weekend. He was a close friend of mine. And please tweet nice things at his wife, Jordan. He's dead. Don't go searching if it's true or not. It's upsetting his family.
Don't go. They get upset when you Google it. They don't want to see it trending.
Exactly.
They want him to just leave. Be done with it.
That's my manipulation of it.
He's gone. They don't want to see it.
Just accept it. Send your condolences, but don't ask. Because, so anyway, I was thinking about something. We're talking about, and this is the voice memo I left myself when you were talking about as you crying. And I go, even if you get it half right, which means what? To me and my brother talk about this. The cliche maybe, am I doing what's important in life?
Yeah.
After I lost my mom and a close friend and other people have been through this. I won't be the first, but am I doing what's important in life? And Bert, what am I talking about? Help me, please. I'm so close to a thought. It's going to be worth it, I promise. But what am I talking about? I think back. Please help me. No, it's a good thing. I got to remember it. May pretend for $1 million. If
Rory Scovel passed away.
No.
And know if you're doing the right thing, even if you're going in doing the right thought.
Oh. So if you're going in the right way of appreciating life, it means you just get more appreciative of life. As you get older, you must get more appreciative of life. And maybe that's why we're crying. Because maybe it's not a bad thing. Maybe it's sort of like saying, yeah, things touch you more. Things you get some simple thing. And I go, so I said into my phone, I go, leaving a message, I go, so what's the rest of my life? Just I'm going to be fucking bawling all day long? It doesn't put me in a bad mood either. Yeah. As a matter of fact, out of it is like, it releases an endorphins of like a high and I work out 7 days a week, every fucking day of the year. Nothing opens up my, like a sad cry, not when it's personal, obviously. Not when it's personal, but you know what I mean? A heartwarming story. It doesn't have to be about death.
I like a good cry. Like I don't anticipate. I'm not excited for the cry I get when my dad dies or my mom dies. I'm not looking forward to that cry.
No. This is a different.
I like the cry when you're watching Walking Tall on a Plane with The Rock. It's such a great movie. And he stands up, he takes his shirt off, and he shows the scars on his back, and you start crying. I like those cries. I don't mind nostalgic cries. Like I cry a lot when I think about death. I cry a lot about when I think about my daughters, and if I won't see their whole life. I cry. I almost cried the other day driving through Hollywood because it was where we lived when the girls were young. And so all those back streets that we would take, I knew them all, but I hadn't driven down them in fucking 10 years. And I got nostalgic. You can get my dad to cry very easy. My niece, they were all in Disneyland. My niece wanted to sleep in bed with him. She was scared. And my dad goes, "Do you remember when Georgia did that to me?" And he started just crying, going like, "God, man, I get so morose these days when I think about all the things I've done." I think that's what it is. Like when you're fucking 33, you think about all the shit you're doing. I think when you're 50, you think about all the shit you've done. And I think that can overwhelm you. I think you start looking at like, I remember, I think Bobby Kelly had a great joke about it. And he goes, I got 30 more summers left. That's it. And I remember looking at him and going, buddy, you're 400 pounds. I don't know if it's 30. I was like, and Bobby, I remember Bobby got his feelings hurt. He goes, what do you mean? And I was like, I mean, 30 is a big fucking number. He's lost weight. We were on Cowheads Cruise. And I was like, 30. I was like, make it like a believable number. Say like 15. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm just saying we're both fat guys. But I think when you start looking at life like, oh, wow, I'm losing friends. People are dying. One day it'll happen to me. And I know what Leanne will say to me when I die. I know what she'll say to me. I get emotional thinking of that. I get really emotional just thinking like, that's real. That's very real.
I know, I hate it. I don't want to die. And I know I'm not the only one.
I don't want to die.
But I just go, and you know what? I think about it a lot now, like, especially like, you know, with my mom and you know, I wanted to say something about what you said about, you know, like because I'm with you, like when I think about cries, it doesn't have to be about my family, but guess what? Sometimes it does both, and it still doesn't put you in a bad mood.
Yeah.
And I'll condense this as much as I can, but I think it's worthwhile telling. You know, my mom recently died, and she would start buying me things over the years, like in the last 3 years. So she goes, even 10 years ago, I want you to remember me by this. You know, I'm like, and I would say, Mom, I'm going to remember you by, I say this word funny, a spatula, you know, to make flip cookies with.
Yeah.
So I go, because we had one in our household since we were little, like the same spatula. About 15 years ago, I framed it for my mom. I took it from my house, I framed it, and I went over 1 million cookies made with this spatula, right? So I go back home a year later. I go, what happened to it? It was out of the frame. She goes, oh, I needed it. Oh, Jesus Christ. So I go, Mom, I'll have that a spatula. Like I would tell her that. 3 years ago, I told her that. I go, Mom, I'll have that a spatula. So.
Hold on. I have two questions. Wait, am I saying spatula wrong?
Am I saying it wrong?
Am I saying it wrong?
No, were you saying it wrong?
You're saying a spatula.
A spatula or spatula?
Is it a spatula?
A spatula. Spatula. You know, we all know what I'm talking about. Do you know what it is?
I say
what
so many words wrong.
Did I say it right? Yeah. I used to say a spatula. Spatula.
You were saying a spatula.
I was. It's not a spatula. Hey, I heard someone say I thought it was soap boppers. I thought it was soap boppers till I was 35. I thought it was soap boppers. 35 years old. There's a lot of these out there, by the way. These things that people find out later in life. But anyway, back to the mom here. Look at me, right back. So I'm laying in bed, and again, you know, just that obviously that my mom had just passed away about a year ago, and is thinking about the thing. Oh, I want you to have this. I go, Mom, I'm going to remember you by this spatula. So I get home and I take off, and you know all these things sound so cliche, and you know they're true. You never know what's going to remind you of somebody. And of course, you know it on paper. You could write an essay on it, and you get an A++. But when it happens, I get home, I take off my shoes, and the things for the insoles.
Yeah.
I realized she died a year ago, but I just realized this a month ago. Her dog chewed them when I was home. And I was like, that's the last thing that her dog will ever chew of mine, you know? And when it happened, I remember I went into the living room. I'm like, a dog I liked that she had. And I would be like, do you know who did this? And it was in her mouth, you know, and you'd play that whole game where you go, if I could find them, but you don't know who it is, do you?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she drops it. So it was, and then, so I'm sitting in bed. I look at the thing and I'm like, I can't believe I never realized it. I have these things, put them from my sneaks into my shoe all the time. I just realized it. Then I see the spatula up there. I see that up there. And then I promise you this is true. Well, about 5 years ago, I was home. This says you'll never know how you remember people. That's just, I'm relating it. I was home and I went into my mom's like linen closet to get a blanket to sleep. But she goes, oh, don't use that one. That's a puppy blanket, which means she had a litter of puppies and they probably peed and pooped all over it for 15 years, you know? I said, oh, it's so soft. I like it. So I used it. And not only did I like it, I took it. And when I got home, I had the edges trimmed, and I had new edges you can put on it, like a tan edging on a white blanket. Clorox living shit out of it. I love it. It's so goddamn soft. And you know what? It's got puppy shit and puppy piss, the DNA of it. And I think that's I love it. So I'm in bed looking at the spatula with the puppy blanket that's probably been pissed all and shit all over. And there's a stray cat that's sort of taken a liking to me, and I'm about to let it sleep in my room. It could have fleas. And I think, Mom, if you only fucking knew, like, you're all over me. You know, I'm you. You know what I mean? And it just warmed my heart, and it didn't ruin my night. It made the night fucking better.
Yeah.
It's a sad that the only can be as low as you can be high or something like that, you know? So, but there you go.
I measure my highs, fearful of my lows.
Wow, what does that mean? Did someone say that?
No, I did. I get really high. I get really really high. Like I get really, I've been saying around the office lately, I vibrate. And I can't figure out what's going on. And I'm like fucking have so much goddamn energy. And I get fearful of that because I've had those and I've embraced them where I was like, fuck it. Let's see how high this gets. And I've gotten physically ill the next day from it. And it's usually, I say things like, this is the best goddamn day that you could ever imagine having. And I measure them now. I when I feel it, I try to breathe and get out of it because I don't want it to be that high because I know that the bad's coming. And I don't know if it's like mania. I mean, maybe it's like maybe a soft mania. But like,
what is soft mania?
It's like I'm a soft narcissist. Like I'm a narcissist, definitely, but I'm not like a bad one. I'm like an okay one. Like I definitely have a hard time listening to people because I think about myself, but I think about myself a lot, like a lot. I probably think about myself as much as like humanitarians think about other people.
Bert. Woo! Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's not a bad Jesus Christ. That's just like, well, it's just so, so honest. It's but you know what? I think who doesn't at times, I'd like to think I listen to people because I care about people, and I can get, when I do my podcast back, when I had my podcast, you go, remember, Todd, not fake listen, but remember to listen. Not because you're faking that you care, because you get so excitable that you just want to share your part of it. So I don't think it's all bad.
I'm trying lately to once again measure my energy. Like last night we sat down to dinner and I told like 2 really great stories. And then I heard Leanne in my head go, hey, let someone else talk. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, but I'm killing it. These are great stories. Everyone's laughing. And Jelly Roll is a very he's an interesting dude. I'm certain he doesn't mind me sharing this, but he's a kind of guy that celebrity and all that stuff doesn't matter to him. He connects with people and he reaches out to people. And I just watched him work the table and it was like he spent a minute, more than a minute talking to everyone. Whereas I was holding court and that's how my brain works. His brain works to hey man, how have you been? And I don't ever say that. I never say that. I'm always like, can I tell you how I am? And so I stopped talking and I was like, breathe, stop, have a bite. This isn't the Bert show. This is a group of people having dinner. Allow this to be communal. I'm always, I don't know.
And you know what? Then you're your best Bert. When you can mix the other excitable Bert that does go and go and go. Maybe I'm just making excuses for myself.
But we like
I do, Bert. I share a lot of the same thoughts, and I don't think it's wrong to think them. And I think
we think very similarly.
Yeah, just be aware that it's not phony because you're going, okay. Remember to, I want to be as a good and I don't like other people that don't have this quality. So I try to remind myself it's not phony. All it takes is taking a deep breath. It's not phony. You take a deep breath, be in the moment. And it'll become natural. That I want to be someone who is as good as being able to be funny as to be the recipient of funny.
Yeah, I want to be Rory. Like Rory's good.
Great at that.
Rory is good at being funny.
He's so dead now.
I know.
I miss him so much. I do. Folks, would you do me a favor? Please tweet at his wife Jordan or Instagram.
But don't use a hashtag. Just tweet the word so no one can find it. She doesn't want it to go viral.
She doesn't want to go viral.
Just tweet, I'm so sorry for your loss.
So sorry for your loss. Please. We mean the world.
Can you get her Instagram up so everyone can find her?
Oh, so back to this whole thing. So if you're 80 years old or 90, if you're
Elliot
lucky enough,
84.
What?
Elliot Gould's 84.
Elliot Gould is 84. Great. You know what's fun about? I thought about something. I should go. I shouldn't have
said that. I distracted you.
No. It had to do with.
She's private. One. Guys, just request a follow.
No, she would want your condolence.
And it's sad that they both got attacked by a coyote with their dog.
They got
their white dog.
I saw pictures. I shouldn't even mention it. Can I edit this out? No, please don't forget. It'll make me look bad. But I saw the pictures of they're just shredded in the forest, and it's sad. I mean, I'm sitting in my house. I'm crying, seeing them ravaged by what was it?
A pack of coyotes.
I guess I'll give you a clean in.
What were you saying about 84?
By the time you're 85, if you're appreciative of life, think about this. If you're 85, not just 85, I didn't say just 85, 85 and going, you try to get it, like what life's about. Even if you do an all right job, you're giving it your best.
Yeah.
What do you do? Just walk around fucking bawling all day long? I mean, if I'm the way I am now, I'm crying, TikTok video, Instagram video, it doesn't ruin my day, but I'm thinking, what am I going to be like 80? I won't even be able to hide it from people. I'll just go in and order my coffee bawling. I go, I know. Can you believe we're all here?
Then what would you rather be? They should do a remake of the movie Angry Old Men, just call it Sad Old Men that just cry all day.
Cry all day, but in positive cry.
Yeah.
It's not, it's like just the cry, because you're seeing people and they're interacting with you. That in itself is beautiful. So you're just walking to order a coffee, you're bawling, and you're like, I can't believe, I get to have this experience with you. I look like I'm a lunatic. Edit this out. Take this show off, and I'll come back and redo it.
I wonder.
That makes sense.
I never saw my dad cry. The first time I ever saw him cry was when they didn't let me graduate from Florida State. Let me walk, but they didn't graduate me. I had to take correspondence classes to get my degree or diploma or whatever. And my dad came out to the car. I had to drive to Tallahassee to try to talk to one of the teachers to see if he would let me make it up, and he didn't. He was a dick. He was an absolute asshole. I wish I knew his name. I would love to call him out. I guess I shouldn't, but he doesn't really have a voice the way I have a voice. But I didn't have a voice at that time. I was a child. I was in college. I wasn't a child. I was 25, 26. But but he told me to go fuck myself. And I told my dad, we were standing in front of my car at his house in Tampa, and he started crying, and I'd never really seen him cry. I couldn't figure out why he was crying. And he was like, it makes you so upset to see someone fuck with your kid. And I was like, and in my head, I was like, I'm okay, Dad. Like, I'll figure this out. Like, this isn't the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And he got emotional. From that day to today, I've seen him cry probably 100 times. I mean, he cried at Gelson's one time. We had coffee over at Gelson's getting food for like a dinner, and just started crying. And I wonder if that's what I got to be, that old guy. I kind of welcome it. I like being in touch with my emotions. I think you were probably
emotional when you were 32.
I wasn't. I was angry.
I knew it.
Like if
I got you. This was an intervention. Leanne, come on in.
If I would say mean stuff that I couldn't deal with the emotions. I wouldn't be able to deal with the emotions, and I would just get like angry. Not like angry, like fall off the handle, but just like, oh fuck, fuck. This is exactly why. Leanne knows the exact fucking phrase I said, but I said some things to Leanne where she was like, "What the fuck?" Because I couldn't deal with it. This is why in every movie they show the dad not speaking, because no one fucking talks to him. It's fucking because this sucks. No, he can't do all the things he wants to do. He's got to fucking do. No one's talks to like, and she'd be like, "What the fuck?" As opposed to going like, "Hey, no one's talking to me." Yeah.
Well, I have a year to live. I wanted to come share it with you.
Thank you. I'm glad that we could spend this last time together.
Quite frankly, today is probably should be dead already. But you'll all understand this in a little while.
By the
way, can I tell you something? I like to see, people go years later. Remember, I sat with Bert. That happens in life. Remember, we went skiing 10 years later, 15 years later. I learned to appreciate it right in the moment. I'm enjoying the fuck out of this. Just I'm
enjoying the fuck out of this. Well,
it's a good
I enjoy
talk.
you. Like, your brain is probably one of my favorite brains. Like, it's the funnest thing to do. I think I did to Frasco was to read texts you send me because they're so fucking hysterical. And it's almost like I said to Rory, the hardest I've ever laughed listening to a podcast was you and him doing the Red Fox intros.
Right.
And he didn't even remember it. He was like, "Oh yeah, what was that?" And I was like, "Huh?"
I remember.
It was the hardest I ever laughed. I was on a train.
Because that story had been out there for so long, and to be able to have a podcast with sound drops and be able to reenact it, and then it was just like we did that. Oh, that was just infectious to just do that over and over and over again.
His brain is so quick, and it meshes so well with your brain. To watch your two brains work, there's always. The cave goes deeper. Let's see if we can get to the place where we're lost and see if we can find our guideline back.
Right. And we had that experience. I heard this song on TikTok about 2 weeks ago, and I thought of you because it was the song, hot dog, hot diggity dog. And I'm like, Bert, I got the perfect song for you to take your shirt off to. and for maybe in post, you can put that song in here and play it loud, please. Whoever is in charge of editing here, don't drop it in. Really?
You were the first person to be very masterful with a podcast. Do you remember the time I called you and I go, Todd, you know what you need to do? I go, you need to do a live podcast at a club with Rory, but in the pitch dark.
Oh, I was with you. I'll tell you why. Jesus. Hold on. I have to pee. But I want to keep talking.
We'll pee, and then we'll keep.
I let myself. You know what I did a little while ago?
What?
For whatever it's worth, and you're in charge here. I disconnected myself from time. I just about 30 minutes ago. I went, stop. He's in charge. He'll take you where you got nowhere to go, and you're enjoying the conversation. So I disconnected myself from time, but.
Your body tells you.
My body tells me I have to pee. So I can go pee real quick?
Yeah, go pee.
You're not going to talk about me when you get back.
I promise I won't.
Okay, remember, my phone could be shoved in the sofa. Can I tell you a fun thing to do? When you leave, I never have done this for real, but maybe sometimes if you're paranoid, people are talking about you when you leave a room, you leave your phone, even if you don't do it, you say you did it.
Yeah.
So you leave your phone and then you come back and even if you didn't do it, you pick your phone up and you go, well, it was on record. I guess I'll find out later what you guys think of me. And you know what? If they're saying bad shit about you, they're going to be nervous.
Oh, go to the bathroom.
Anyway,
I won't say a word, I promise.
Wait, I just went in my pants. Okay, so here's what I wanted to say.
You know it's beautiful? You know you're getting a new bed.
Jesus, that's... Oh, guess what? I just had... We're not including this in it, are we? I just had two... Oh, this is so vain. Are you cutting this out?
Well, if you want.
I wanted to be taller and I had leg extensions, so I'm still learning how to use it. Oh my God, in a week you won't even notice, but I'm 6'4" now. By the way, Leanne's podcast studio. I'm not disingenuous. I know good style. I look in there, I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Remember what I said about Andy Frasco? If you're not going to give 100%, then just get the fuck home.
Yeah.
When I look at the studio, yes, of course, take advantage of every element of creativity. It says everything about you.
But that's who you are.
Right.
That's who you are.
Remember how ugly all podcasts used to be?
Yes.
No one cared. Now it sucks because now I got to try.
Well, I think everyone thought they were trying to keep it real and
right. That style
and
wasn't
in
important.
the effort of keeping it real, you are, and then in fact making an effort.
Exactly.
It's like these guys. There's this band. God, I wish I knew the name of the band. I want to call them out.
Andy Frasco.
No,
You know who
Can you,
Orville
find,
Peck
can, you,
is?
can you find out? I tweeted about them, or DM'd, or posted about them. They opened for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I want to use this guy.
My sister, not to brag, she blew the Red Hot Chili Peppers, one of their drummers or their roadies, or a guy used to fix their truck. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. I'm sorry. Let's keep moving on. But anyway, what I wanted to say is, do you know who Orville Peck is?
Yeah.
You do?
How do I know who Orville Peck is?
I want you to know who he is. You know why? Because I'm gonna hold you to this. Because if you know who Orville Peck is and you love him, you're gonna end up getting to go to one of his shows, and I'm gonna go with you.
Wait, I know
Orville Peck. I hate to describe him this way, but he's a country singer, but more than that, and he wears a mask.
I know Orville Peck. He looks like the Lone Ranger.
Right.
Yes, I know Orville Peck. Fuck yeah.
And I would. Let me tell you something. My friend went to one of his shows, and they say you get the audience you deserve.
Yeah.
And he said, boy, did you feel enveloped by love. And I thought it would be fun to go to an Orville Peck show with you. It could be, who knows? We'll take a look at his schedule. Maybe it's a year from now.
Yeah.
But if we try to figure it out, we'll figure it out. And I think you would love it.
Will you find out his schedule? Oh yeah, go to.
Is that right there?
See who opened for them.
Orville Peck.
No, at the Forum. See who opened for them at the Forum.
By the way, May 12th, I'm doing my show as part of Netflix's A Joke Festival at the UCB on Franklin.
May 12th?
Yeah.
Nice.
At the UCB, full band, 7-piece band, ice cream truck before the show, band playing, two of the band members playing before the doors open. UCB, May 12th, part of Netflix's A Joke. But anyway, back to this Orville Peck. It's great. It's something to see. It's something to see. Do you know, Bert, do you know Bruce Springsteen is playing at the...
Leanne's going.
She is?
Yeah.
Fishy. Because I heard he just broke up with his wife. She's going on what night?
I don't know. She's going... Leanne just started getting really into seeing concerts. I love concerts.
Let me tell you something. It's a good thing to get into.
He delivers.
Yes.
He puts on a fucking show. I hear it's like a 2-hour show. Orville Peck. Wait, I want to say the thing about the guy. I wish I knew the name of the band.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Sucks. Alex Sucks. Can you pull up Alex Sucks on a separate page so I can show the lead singer of Alex Sucks? So there's this band, and the lead singer comes out, and he's got like a torn shirt, and he's good looking. He's in great shape. He's got tats like well placed, and I sat. I don't know why we were talking about this, about the authentic self. I sat as a fan, and I went, is he trying too hard? Is that real? Is that authentic? Like when we were talking about podcast setups, is he trying too hard to be a front man, or is this who he is? And I went on his Instagram, and I was fucking mesmerized. I go, this is who he is. He is the crappy podcast setup because he doesn't care and he wants it to be. He doesn't care. He doesn't think about it. He is, go to the Alex Sucks and then go to.
Where did you, and you eventually saw this person where?
Go to the picture of him in the cigarette in the jacket. So like Instagram influencers take this picture to be cool. This is who he is. And I was so fucking mesmerized by this kid that within their set, I said to Isla, because Isla's sitting next to me.
Isla's who?
My youngest.
Mm.
I said, I just became a fan of this fucking kid. And I was going through his pictures and she's like, Dad, he's cool as fuck. And he's authentically cool. He doesn't try hard. He's authentically cool. I saw that picture and I went, oh, is he still trying hard? And then you go through and you realize, oh, he's a guy that probably cuts his own hair, dyes his own hair, probably has really cool chicks around him that are thoughtful and read and are pretty and don't wear bras. And I was like, this is the guy. This is the real deal. He's the real deal. When you want a rock star, you want the real deal. Like you don't want to see someone that you feel like is putting it on. That's why you love bands like Papa Roach or like
watch your mouth.
Like, because they're authentically who they are. They are authentically who they are, Yeah. And that's what you connect with. And authenticity is so fucking sexy.
Isn't it?
It is. It's why I won't stop crying. It's authentic. I'm not going to stop doing it because I feel like people may think I'm one thing. I'm being real in the moment.
Well, look, at least let's, like, for people that think, oh, like it's not crying is the weirder thing. Maybe pretending you don't cry, and I know people that listen to your show, it's not like it's 1950, but there's still a lot of people out there. I related when you said back a while ago, like, oh, they're talking about, laser surgery and their skin and like, look, it's all.
Be authentic to who you are.
It's authentic. And Gary Shandling said something years ago, as much as comedy will change.
Did you ever meet him?
I just met him once at the Comedy Magic Club for 3 minutes and I got a laugh out of him that doesn't matter, but I knew it was genuine. And I'll take that. And I'll just die with that. Of course, because I adored Gary Shandling and it was just backstage at the Comedy Magic Club. And, I don't even remember what it is right now, to be honest. But I remember he was sitting in the office in backstage, but I never met him. Did you?
Well, the beauty about someone passing is I can say I did and no one can contest it.
Yes. Oh, wait, can we edit this out?
No, leave it in. Leave to edit that part out. He came up to me one time and told me the shirt thing off is the most genius thing I've ever seen in comedy.
Oh, did you? He said, he goes, you know why? Because I was there. You're talking about the Comedy Magic Club? Richard was there?
Yeah.
And he goes, I know you think that it's not going to be. He goes, but you know what? In shape isn't funny.
Yeah.
But you're baring your soul. And I was like, what? And I was there. And I looked at you. Remember, I looked at Bert. I was like, Bert, it makes sense. He goes, it's not like you're ripped on stage. He goes, you're. And that's when I thought, remember that night driving home in the car, I said, what's funny? He said that, Bert, because I once on stage said, unless you're comfortable in clothing, if clothing and suits and restrictions make you feel good, I'm not talking about you. Do what makes you feel great. But other than that, if you're not wearing overalls on stage, you're probably full of shit. Remember I said that to you driving home?
I remember that.
And that's what I thought. Gary said,
yeah.
Am I doing this bit good or bad? Oh, jeez.
When Whitney Houston died, I had a good Whitney Houston story.
Dude, that makes sense. Can you edit that out and edit it back in? I know that seems weird, but please edit it out and then edit it back in. If there's any way you could do that in post, I'd appreciate it. Just shows that a little work went into it.
When Whitney Houston died, I had a great Whitney Houston story, and Segura called me, and he goes, hey, did you hear about Whitney Houston? I went, no. And he goes, she's died. And I went, what? And he goes, yeah. He goes, at the end of that joke, you can say, basically, she said anything to you, and no one's ever going to disagree with it. And I went,
right.
Oh, yeah. So that night, I told the story, and at the end of the story, we realized it's Whitney Houston, and she pulled me aside, and she said, I don't fan out often, but Bobby and I love your stand-up. And I was like, that's so, thank you. I didn't expect that. And she goes, I would love to keep in touch. Just you go out with you two and just be around you guys and just inspired people love being around inspired. And everyone was like, fuck, in the audience. And I was like, I just made that up. And then everyone was like, oh. And then I was like, I should have just kept it.
Because I have one of those moments.
Yeah.
I don't want to, because of course it meant a lot to me. But what was that place outside where they have? You had to be a member to get in, but it was on the top of that building, and there were trees everywhere.
Was it like Soho Club?
Yeah, Soho Club.
Yeah.
And Prince came up to me. God damn it! I was gonna do it with a straight face, and if nobody here laughed, I would have been able to get through it. All right, let me try again. Here we go.
Have you ever had one of those moments?
Oh my God. I actually have. And these are the times when you don't want to be braggadocious, but look, obviously it melted my heart. But I was at the, what's that place at the top of the,
with the trees?
It's like a private club. You have
the Soho Club.
The Soho. Yeah. And I'm outside with Sarah Silverman.
Oh.
And John Hamm. Not to, I guess, to name drop. I won't say not to name drop. Yeah. I purposely went out of my way to name drop. And you don't really know who sees your comedy.
You don't. That is the weirdest part.
I always think I know.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I always think they're better looking than they are. No offense to my fans. But I always think when I see them, I go, no, your guys are supposed to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway, but and a complimentary. Like he was very complimentary. Like
Really?
almost like fangirling out, not to be. Prince. He comes up to me and he goes, "Hey," and I was like, only because I was like leaving with other people,
Yeah.
so I was in a hurry. But obviously, I knew it was fucking Prince. And he grabs my arm. I remember it, a little aggressive, and he goes, "Do what you do." He goes, "You're funny. Do that show in Broadway, the Todd Glass, the event of a lifetime." And he didn't.
So it was Prince's last words.
That was. And then he dropped dead right there. Do you know? Remember all the ugly pictures at the Improv on the wall?
Yes.
Do you know? I think. Like, I really do believe that Rob Williams will love this story, that someone made me believe this. And I don't remember who it was.
You're talking about the painting on the wall?
Yes.
So wait, for everyone who doesn't know, can you see if you can find the painting?
Find pictures of it, put it up.
The painting on the Improv
and we'll talk about it for 10 minutes. Put all the pictures up. And no offense to the person that drew them. Oh, now I feel bad.
So good.
Look, it doesn't matter. We've got to get past it. Whoever did them, maybe they weren't a portrait artist, so it was difficult for them to do portraits. No.
It's a painting.
They're all like paintings because everybody talked about that mural. In essence, it was missed.
Yeah.
Because we would sit outside. There were running bits.
So
I remember one
funny.
night seeing Jeff Ross and John Mayer talk about a twosome doing, their bit was this. No. They didn't have enough room for everybody. So some of these people represent more than one person. Okay, so they'd be like, that's Rodney Dangerfield and B. Arthur.
Yeah.
and they were, that's all the Wayans brothers. You know, like that was the joke. Like, that wall was infamous for like just sitting around. It's like, the person that did it, I'm trying to be loving in case they would ever hear this. They weren't great at portraits. I think they were more like famous for drawing
I think he was
dolphins.
I think he was blind.
Dolphins. No,
There was a dolphin. There was a
blind.
dolphin
I
in
know
it.
what you're trying to do.
There's a dolphin in it.
Yeah, there's a dolphin in it. Yeah, he was.
Type in dolphin. There was a dolphin in it.
So I don't remember who it was. They go, Now keep in mind we're talking about this painting, so you know where this is going, but I don't. I'm just at the Improv, and someone goes, somehow it came up. They go, the last time I saw Robin Williams was actually here, and I went. He was going out a lot. I remember that towards the end of the last year. So I was like totally. They go, and I remember him looking at his drawing. And like, I didn't know if I was like overthinking it because I'm like, it's Robin Williams. But he was just definitely staring at his drawing. And I was like, he's probably realizing it sucks. But anyway, and then the next morning he killed himself. So I don't remember who told me that, but they were obviously it was a bit.
Yeah.
But the funny to think that the last thing Robin did that set him over the edge was that shitty drawing.
That's the picture. You found it.
Oh, look, that's you're close. There you go. That's like a little version of it. Do you know what my friend said? He didn't know how to draw eyes. He learned how to draw a eye. So the same eye was in every single person. And once he said that, it was an artist that pointed that out to me.
Who is that? Cat
Chris
Williams?
Fairbanks actually pointed it out to me.
He goes, Cat Williams at the bottom.
Now see that with the sunglasses? That's actually Bud Friedman.
The dolphin?
No, the dolphin.
That's Dave Chappelle. Who's next to Dave Chappelle?
Oh, let's try to figure it out. See that? See that?
Not Louis.
Is that Louis? And then
that's Adam Sandler with the hat backwards.
Right.
It's got to be George Lopez.
Oh, that looks like somebody once said, and it really upset me. Talk about being sensitive. I'll take it. I'm not going to make a big deal about it, but it did hurt my feelings. Look at his puppet. They said, is that Todd Glass? And it's that guy with the old guy.
Wait, is that Jeff Dunham with the two puppets?
Yeah, that's Jeff Dunham with
I thought it was Carlo. I thought it was fucking George Lopez.
Maybe it is. That's Sandler.
Who's the guy with the hat backwards?
That's David Spade.
That's David Spade? I thought that was Kurt Cobain.
To tell you the truth, I didn't think it was David Spade. Maybe I shouldn't admit this. Will you definitely edit this out?
Yeah.
Guys, please don't. This makes me look bad. David Spade gives me $500 every time I mention his name on a podcast. So definitely take that out or he will not like that. David Spade. I got a mortgage. David Spade.
When did you meet David Spade?
In probably 1990 when I moved out to LA.
Really?
And 1990.
So he had not done Tommy Boy?
No, he had just done like
Evening at the Improv.
No. The movie with the police academy.
Police Academy?
Yeah, he had a little part. He was a skateboarder, and he said they introduced him. You saw him in Police Academy. He goes, "All right, everybody, I'll give you $7 back," he goes, and then we can get started. And I thought he was so funny right away. His little asides. He goes, and he looked like he was 15, and he was funny. He was really funny. This is 1990. This is pre SNL. This is he had a part like he was just but I knew like not that everybody didn't know, but it really made me laugh.
Do you think he cries?
That's a good question. You know what? I bet he does because he's very he's pretty caring. He's a pretty nice person.
I have to.
He's always nice to. You know what? You know how you hear negative stuff, so it's important to throw positive stuff out there. David Spade is always nice to anybody that comes up to him. Matter of fact, I get annoyed more than he does when they try to sit down at the dinner table. That's when I step in. Hey, no.
All right, I'm going to voice text David.
Look at that. You got a good image of that.
Let's see, God, message.
I can't believe that David Spade is dead. It's so hard. I wrap my head around it. I lay in bed at night. I cry. What if I somehow thought that would help my career? If I can convince people that other people have dead, then the work will come my way. So I'm constantly going, oh my God, I can't believe it.
Hey, Spade, it's Bert. Listen, Todd Glass and I are sitting here and we're wondering if you cry. And if you
He's not going to tell you. He won't tell you.
You don't think so?
Nope. He won't tell you.
I don't think. Hey, will you just be honest with us and let us either call us or voice text?
Can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
And I'm being serious.
Okay.
How come we don't hang out anymore? Something's going on. I think you and your friends hang out. You think you're going to talk about stuff you can't talk about in front of me, but it's really hurting our friendship, Dave, because we haven't had a good dinner in a long time.
Let's go to dinner with David Spade in like 2 weeks.
When I'm on the road, this is a compliment to Dave. I don't like to get up early. Oh, you still leaving?
Oh, yeah, I'm still texting. Hold on, let me.
Oh, I look horrible.
Call us back.
Oh, my God. See, this is a picture that could make me want to take my own life.
Oh, is that you?
Like, I will go home, take a cyanide pill, and go to a funeral parlor so I don't leave my ruins in anybody's way of having to deal with me. That's my plan. If you ever have to do it. I don't want to joke about that. That's not funny. But this is disgusting. This works on your biggest fears, that guy. He goes, you know how people feel shitty about themselves anyway? I'm going to do a mural that'll make them feel worse than they already feel.
That's what that's what it's supposed to be? Oh, okay. So that was Jeff Dunham, and that was Spade, and that was Sandler.
You know, I saw, true story, I saw Robin Williams at the Improv the night before, and I remember him looking up at his picture. All right, this is enough. There it is. That's the greatest picture so far. So that's what, when you were at the Improv and you were hanging out in the courtyard, this is what you would look at all the time. And you know, you would just sit there and you would have to just go, what? You know what I said I would do if I was him? I'm not joking around. Like, all we did was talk about this. And I'm being serious. I said, I think what I would do is because you can go, well, it's an homage to the comedian. Well, then you have a plaque at the bottom that says their name.
Yeah.
Okay, don't try any tricks. Don't try to get one step ahead of me here. Okay, I get it. I get that you have creative license. I would bring in a friend late at night under the fly to fix the faces. The bodies are fine. It's not that we need a new shirt on anybody. By the way, I will say he did a good job to Peanut, Jeff Dunham's Peanut.
Yeah,
he really nailed Peanut. He's better at dolphins and Muppets. But with the faces, the dolphin's good. So I said I would have just come at 3 a.m. I wasn't even joking. And I would have a friend that's better at portraits and go, just come in there. It'll take 5 hours one night. I'll give you $1,500 and fix these faces up.
Or what if he just slowly, in the middle of the night, went in and changed everyone to a dolphin?
it doesn't matter, but they called me when they were going to airbrush over that. Not airbrush it, but what do you call it? And then she goes, I know it's probably stupid. You probably wouldn't want to be here, but I go, yeah. Oh, you kidding me? Just, you know, that psh, 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 psh. Of course I was there.
Oh, that painting was so fucking great. great.
And now I miss it. It was a mistake. I said, is there any way you could put it back up?
I know.
Do like pictures like this and have an artist recreate it, but as a joke now, as a retro piece.
God, I fucking might need that as my screensaver.
Wow. Hold on, Bert. I want to see. Bert, if you had one wish, what would it be?
Live forever.
Oh.
Yes.
Can I steal yours? I didn't know what mine was. I thought it was my show that I want to do.
You just pulled a pen out and you went, unlimited Oreos is all.
Yes, right. Free gum. I used to say, here's a dumb guy that gets, I used to have a joke in my act, go, this is a dumb guy that gets one wish from a genie. And any wish he wants, and he goes, free gum for life. Like, anyway, I wish I was lying. So one wish, that's a good one. I was going to say that my show in New York will get its turn, but I will live forever because then I'll get it done no matter what. I just need some time.
Yeah.
Live forever is a good one. Can I throw some love some people's way?
Yeah, please.
And can we talk about my crowdsource?
Yes, of course.
And I love you.
I love you way more.
So I like to send some love some people's way. So there's a guy on TikTok. His name is Parker Debates People.
You did this to me last time.
We did it with
that kid.
I'm spacing on his name, which I hate. We saw that video years ago during the pandemic.
So good. It was so good.
It was really well. He's gone on to do a lot of videos. Like he's very successful in Florida.
And I will say I have to say this, and I think he's old enough to hear this. It is creepy. Is that I had him and his mom come to my show in Naples, and they came backstage, and I realized very quickly how age appropriate I am to his mom because she's beautiful and she's my age. And I realized what's creepier, me having her back here or me having her boy back here. I was like, but his mom is beautiful. Beautiful.
I once realized my friend's mom, even me not being straight, my friend's mom was so hot. And I go, Mike, how come you never told me your mom was so hot? He goes, well, I don't know when it would be appropriate. That's what I remember him saying. Mike Coleman.
I would like to see. I would like to see pictures now. I wish Instagram had been around when I was in high school because I'd like to go back to high school and now at 51 see all the moms that at 17 I thought were like, ugh, it's a mom, but now I go, God damn it, she was really had it.
Well, I'm sure that happens all over like a lot.
Oh yeah,
a lot. So there's this. I try to pick a few people every time I go on a podcast, throw some love their way. Parker Debates People.
Can you pull it up?
Parker Debates People. Let me tell you something. I wish I knew his friend's name because they know people that are hardcore listeners to this show know he has another person he debates who's a little more cocky, but I love it too. And let me tell you something, Bert. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. They have brought debating issues into the 21st century. They don't argue like it's 1990 anymore. They bring facts and precision. And it's almost like the same 5 things he talks about a lot. But I think he has brought debating things into the 21st century. And I think he's brilliant and he's clean. But it's never going to, can I tell you, I'd rather you didn't because you know how you get the pressure on you and then you're like, it's like when you play a band for you. But he has a friend that he does them with too. And they'll debate some things. But anyway, I wanted to throw love his way. And then also, during the pandemic, and I think we talked about this maybe, not only did I fall in love with TikTok and fall in love with Instagram, for the funny things on it. There's little things. How did they know editing that would be so great? I was jealous. It was like a formula that it seemed like, I would have a good time on this platform. I like Twitter, but I'm more, obviously, music and it's whatever you want it to be. And, but also sometimes heartwarming. Sometimes just someone coming to the screen and saying something sweet or kind, or somebody that chops up Mr. Rogers quotes and puts them up all the time and really can make your day better. Yeah. And just some people and also rooting for someone. And there's a young man, and his name is, I want to get it right, Josh, and his last name is Luter 2.0. And he got in a motorcycle accident. He's like a 22-year-old kid. And
Lutto.
Luter 2.0. His first name is Josh. And, hey, by the way, maybe I'm throwing some love their way if they're ever trying to raise money for anything he needs. But I was just thinking that there he is. And I am rooting for this fucking guy. I see life in his eyes, and I see his parents and his grandparents just doing everything possible. And I just check in with him all the time. So when I talk about like TikTok, not only for the comedic and also just for something like this that decides to tell his journey. And I like to keep up on it. I like to check in. 3 months pass by, I go, how's he doing? And I follow it, So I just wanted to love his way because I feel like, over the past year, I've gotten to really, just become very invested in this story.
There was a young lady, I'm going to pull her up.
And Danny Duncan let me down. That's all I'm going to say. I hope the word gets back to him. Nothing more needs to be said.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
There was a woman I followed, I think, probably beginning of Instagram. She had been burned in I wonder if my sister remembers her. She had her, what's the thing at the bottom of an old house that your hot water heater or something? It had exploded on her and it burned her terribly. And she chronicled her recovery of the burns. But I followed her journey. I follow journeys. I love fun. There's a dude right now, he'll never hear this, but there's a dude right now that's having problems with mental health. And he's posting pictures, videos to update. Hey, it's day 22. I'm still in this facility. And it's really bare bones. I think he's doing it to keep himself sane and stay grounded. And I saw that he was working out on an F-45, which is Mark Wahlberg owns. And I almost reached out to Mark Wahlberg to be like, you should hit this kid up. He's going, and he has like 2,000 followers. And then I was like, I don't know if that is good. I wonder if I just leave it be and don't try to put my fingers in the mix.
Oh, I'm sure he'd appreciate, maybe.
Yeah, but you don't want to take someone who's going through mental illness and then borderline make them famous.
Right,
that fucks up everything.
It's not a natural.
Yeah, nothing's natural. If Mark Wahlberg hits you up, your energy's up. And then one day you're like, why hasn't he texted me? So I was like, this kid's journey has got to be his journey. I love rooting for people.
It's real. It is. You know what? It is. It's fun to find someone to root for. And so him, and it could be something as there's another young adult building an old Airstream out, and he's so young and he's so knowledgeable, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
He just talks you through it, and he's like, here's what I did, and he's doing everything. I'm like, and my nephew is that smart. Like, he can wire stuff, he can build stuff, but he's doing it on TikTok as he builds this Airstream out. People will find them if you just put young, whatever builds Airstream out.
I love. God, I wish.
Not Airstream. Yeah, the old silver one.
You watched her get burned over the vast majority of her body, and then you watched her recover, and it was so fucking wild.
And did you figure out her name? Sometimes the only reason it's nice to throw love their way, like I said, I didn't think of it with, I'm embarrassed. Sometimes it's weird. You feel like, why do I have to look at it on a piece of paper? Just because, it just comes in front of you all the time. But with Josh, I was just sort of saying how TikTok can occupy my time. But you never know if they are trying to raise some money or something like that.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. It can be easy to ignore our social battery and spread ourselves thin, especially with social gatherings picking up after the winter. What's the right amount of time for you for socializing? How much time do you need to recharge? Maybe you thrive around people like I do, or maybe you need some alone time like my wife. Therapy can give you the best self-awareness to build a social life that doesn't drain your battery. Better yet, doesn't allow you to drain your partner's battery. I've been so guilty of that. And here's the deal. I worked on this in therapy. We have a group of friends in LA, and I just text the word party. I just want to get together. I want to have dinner. I want to have drinks. I write party. What I found is Leanne, once it would go out, everyone would start replying, and then Leanne would feel like a wet rag because she was like, hey, I don't want to be around people. But the cat was already out of the thing. We talked about this in therapy. I talked about this in therapy. So now what I do is I text party to Leanne, and then she says yes or no if she's up for it, and then I send party to the group. I worked on that in therapy. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Find your social sweet spot with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Bert today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Bert. With that summer feeling running wild, you need hydration that keeps you up with every moment. A single stick of Liquid IV makes ordinary hydration extraordinary. With 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients for everyday wellness, Liquid IV makes it way easier to stay hydrated while traveling. Take it from a guy who travels nonstop. This is White Peach. It is perfect for hanging outside, poolside with your friends. I stir it. You know what's funny is I'm probably going to get flagged by the company for this, but I like to enjoy mine. I like to take my time with it. So what I do is I'll pour it in a glass like this, and then I'll sip off the top, and then I'll just keep adding water. And that way I stay extra hydrated. I get all the nutrients and vitamins, but I feel it's like a treat. God damn, I do this I'm telling you right now, I've been partying a little bit, and I do a Liquid IV and a couple glasses of water right before bed, and I feel phenomenal. And I do a Liquid IV first thing in the morning. Turn your ordinary water into extraordinary hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code BERT at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code BERT at liquidiv.com. What music do you listen to in your house?
Well, you know, it's so funny. I go from, you think it would represent at least anything we talked about. Most of the time it's in the background, so I just go to Siri, play instrumental jazz on Amazon.
I thought you'd do that. Leanne plays the Beatles. And the other day I said to myself, are the Beatles that good? Like, are they that good? And then what's the song? What's the song about people getting married in the chapel?
No, not that one. Somebody put music
I think that might be the song.
Yeah. Hey, if we can do this and somebody puts music to it, you know, we could sell it on iTunes.
Wait, I'm gonna find the fucking Beatles song, because I heard it and I went, God damn it. I bet there's people out there going, are the Beatles that fucking good?
Yeah.
And then you hear them and you listen to all top songs. These are the top songs the Beatles have.
Let It Be.
Yesterday, Here Comes the Sun, In My Life, Twist and Shout, Help, Blackbird, Come Together, Let It Be, Hold Your Hand, Hey Jude, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Strawberry Fields Forever, and I Love Her. And I Love Her was in 64. Now and then, here's the song. You ready? You ready for the song?
Hey Jude.
I heard this. Music, man. That's music fucks me up. Music fucks me up.
Like I said, it's happened at other concerts, but seeing Andy
when he plays, hold on. Hang on.
And then
hang on. Can you play Dancing on My Grave?
Are you good?
Yeah.
I'm fine, by the way. I have nowhere to be. As long as we leave a little time for...
Don't worry. We've definitely. I'm not going anywhere. All I have to do is be at the airport by 8 tonight.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Put on headsets.
Where are you going?
Chicago.
Where?
United Center.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
When's your show, tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
This song, and I want to play it so people here, put the headsets on. You gotta play it loud. Is my favorite song. I want this played at my funeral. Look at me.
You're crying.
Does it to me I could put a playlist. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a Spotify playlist of cry songs.
Wouldn't that be fun if, like, you could help a charity, but a famous musician goes, okay, then the highest bidder, you write the playlist for the night.
Oh, I got a better one.
They don't have to pick the one they don't want, by the way. But some lucky bidder, a fan, gets to pick the playlist that, in this case, Andy Frasco would do.
What if you did this? How cool would this be? I'm gonna use John Mayer as the name because he's just such a versatile musician. What if he went up on stage and he goes, I'm doing tonight the exact opposite of comedy. I'm gonna make everyone sob and cry for an hour on the most tear-jerking songs.
Musician.
And he just played all the songs that you just sat in your car. You just.
It's called a tear festival.
Oh,
I would love it.
I would fucking.
You know what?
I would
Can I tell you what that is? That is maybe the simplest, easiest way to flush everything out and just have the music. So you're embracing it instead of going, oh my God, how many sad songs in a row? You're like, oh no. It's one sad song after another.
And it's just like when they close with their best song. He goes, "You guys haven't heard it anymore. Hold on, Hey Jude," and everyone's like, "Ah!" How fucking flushing would that be to go in and go and you love your partner more in those moments when you're crying. We went to the Sphere and I cried from the beginning to the end. At the beginning to the end, I cried the whole time.
What's the Sphere? In Vegas?
Is this a bit?
No.
Are you being serious? Yeah.
No. What is it? No. What is it? Is it in Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, the casino?
No. It's a theater. It's a rock venue where they.
Oh, okay.
U2's playing right now. The Dead's gonna play there,
and it's in Vegas.
It's in Vegas,
and it's. I think if I remember correctly, it's like coming to the 21st century with what the room is like and the lighting's sound behind you. Yeah. By the way, I swear 5 years ago, I go, when is that going to happen?
I thought you were going to say 5 years ago. I had that idea. I didn't have the money to do it.
Speaking of music, and I'm only doing this. I hate that I'm coming off. Bert, I could talk forever.
Yeah,
but I want to.
That's the Sphere, and I cried from beginning to end.
What was the show you saw?
U2, and you don't realize I'm a casual U2 fan, and you don't realize how much U2's permeated your DNA. And then you know all the lyrics to all the songs, but they make it so interactive. They play. That's a bad representation of it. But they make it look like the Vegas Strip, and then they build the Vegas Strip behind U2 as they're singing a song.
How many people were there? Would you say?
It's got to be
10,000,
7,000.
Wow.
10,000.
And is it all the original members?
Yeah, the band is on the stage right there, and then behind that's a bad picture. Can you find a better picture of what they do? And the band's up there, and then the backdrop, the screen is surround sound. Like it's surround screen. Anywhere you look in your periphery, it's there, and it is so fucking interactive, and it's so overwhelming. And they tap into your everything about what you love about music and what you love about this song, and it's just fucking. And I cried beginning to end. Put the picture of the flag on the far left, far left.
18,000 people.
Whoa.
Wow, my numbers are off.
So, Bert,
guess I'm selling more tickets than I thought. So they can put that. That's what you see behind it. You see that, and it looks real. It looks fucking real.
The projection is, a friend of mine that goes to a lot of concerts sends me videos, and even in the videos, I can tell, like, oh, we've come into the 21st century. Like, but explosions and stuff's been around forever. This is different. This is
well, it's okay. You ready for a pivot? It's what I love about what you're doing.
I'll take the pivot, and I will. Maybe even you could play. I don't know how your show works, but maybe you could play that as we're talking. It's going to seem long, and I'm going to get nervous.
Hard for me to explain the show.
Can you go full screen?
So I just say it's unexplainable. That's why it's worth coming out to see.
Everything takes longer when you're impatient.
But if I had to explain it, I would
there we
say
go.
It's a stand-up comedy show, but I make a really big deal about it, like a concert.
I have the band playing as they're being seated, as you can see right here. I have a two-piece out there, because sometimes they're being seated for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, start the fucking show.
You have a saxophone while they're waiting in line.
Yeah, we have some tracks. What's the big deal? I come from the back of the room. I stole that from Paul Anka. But I love it.
Todd Glass in Your Face, The Way You Like It is number 2 on the charts, and it has not even been recorded yet. Ladies and gentlemen, a man that needs no introduction, Mr. Todd Glass.
Is that enough?
Let's talk about people that have bad breath. I don't have any segues. They're for the weak and the old. Hello, audience. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you're at my show. What is your name, sir? Ardman. Oh, no. My brother asked me a good question. He goes, when are you going to just start talking about if you're gay on stage? It's very difficult. What do you call your significant other? I was happy with partner in crime. I was like, oh, my partner in crime. People are like, what crime? Oh, we disobey a guy that's a fake guy. Yeah, I know how much I love you. In the old days, these crooners, it didn't matter if their joke got a big laugh. They had the band that would go right into the joke right afterwards. It was like, I grew up right across the street, ladies and gentlemen. I remember once I saw 2 dogs going at it. I said to my dad, what are they doing? He said, they're playing a game. I said, what's the game? He said, it's called fucking. These little town blues. I'm embarrassed to be on TikTok sometimes. I'm 28 years old. No, aren't I 28, you guys? Yeah. Do the math. Remember I got pulled over by the cop? What's the first thing he said when he came up to the car? Oh my God. You're 28? Why would I make that up? Put a spotlight on this person because I don't see him. Wave your hand in
This is the part that made me laugh the hardest.
What bit do you want to hear me do?
The sheer well bit.
Sir, open and close your mouth, sir. Try to make it work. Where are you from?
Sacramento.
No, sir. Up. Where are you from, sir?
Sacramento.
If you're getting a new mattress anyway, you have a one-time opportunity to pee in your bed. There's an older generation of people trying to prove how soft kids are. Oh, the kids today drink all this bottled water. Back then, when I was a kid, we didn't drink any water. You look like shit. Archie Bunker was 45 for those people old enough to remember. Ryan Reynolds is 45. The Golden Girls were just out of college.
And now it's a wrap. So we end the show with Hey Jude. And this girl can fucking sing. She doesn't just sing, she shreds it.
So we have a little after party. There's an ice cream truck.
This is what I love.
Mandy. Ice cream truck in the street. 5 of the band members go out there. They play. They don't fucking stop.
Now there's also some cookies out there and some hot chocolate to go. Take it home, you take the cookies, boom, and you're eating it. You're like, oh, this is still Todd Glass entertaining us.
Todd, the cookies made it home.
And thanks for the hot chocolate.
And I made a playlist for them to listen to. Here we go.
Take it home, Mandy. Thank you very much, everybody.
Todd Glass, the event of a lifetime. Anyway,
Can I tell you what? I want to pay you. You got to cut it, Alston.
Thank you for letting that breathe.
Can I pay you an interesting compliment, representative of this conversation, applicable to our occupation? The way we were talking about music and being old and not getting young music, I think sometimes comedians, when you're young and you're hot, you think you figured it out. All the older guys don't have it. The thing about you that no one's doing and that I don't think anyone younger really respects or understands is you have always been authentically you, doing things that are authentic to what you find funny, not what you think the crowd or the comics are going to find funny, to what you found tickled you. And you've always done it. This is a pure representation of that. This is so authentic. Back to that conversation. This is so authentic. It's so why when your name comes up to all of us, everyone's like, "Oh, my favorite comic."
Well, it melts my heart, and I appreciate it. I really do.
You've always been you.
I try. I fight like everybody else.
You've been you in a time, and young kids won't get this, and I mean that with respect. They won't get it because they don't understand what comedy was 20 years ago. Was everyone with a developmental set of like 8 minutes? I'm the kind of guy that likes to do this.
It was easier if you were.
Yeah, and you were the guy. Is one of my favorite Todd Glass stories. You were the guy who would do an hour at the Irvine Improv and said, instead of giving me a light, just start vacuuming.
I would tell them, Jesus Christ, Bert, you remember that? This guy Joss would go up on stage. He'd start vacuuming during my show, and that would just start vacuuming when I have 10 minutes. And then I would go, Joss, what are you doing? He goes, oh, I swear to God, I didn't hear any laughs. I thought your show was over. So,
my point is, like, when you're young, you think
funny.
you have it figured out. You think you know everything. That anyone older than you didn't know it, and they simply forget that there are. It's like listening to. I introduced Isla to. Introduced Isla to Tool the other day, the band Tool. She was like, "Who the fuck is this?" I go, "Hey, there's great people ahead of you. There will be great people behind you. That you got to remember that just witness the greatness. You're not too precious to see greatness." Todd Glass, you are fucking great. And
well, thank you.
Your podcast was always innovative, different than anything any of us were doing. Always. Your stand-up is so fucking fun. The way your brain operates is, to me, is like, when you talk about give that kid a MacArthur grant, the world should just pay you to be you for the rest of your life. They do technically.
Well, it melts my heart. It really does, and I really appreciate it. And you know, a lot of times I find myself saying when I'm trying to explain. Well, obviously, I'm going to send people over to my website, which is toddglass.com, and then my crowdsource is at Seed and Spark. And once you're over there, you see some of the different tiers. You know, one of them is to name the band after your business or you for the night. It's a high ticket item.
Pull it up. I want to see what.
So one of the
this is fun.
One of the ticket items. Listen, here's. Before you pull it up, let me just say this. I'll feel better. I'll breathe better.
Okay.
So I have toured with a version of this show for about 4 or 5 years. My goal is, people just saw it, and I appreciate you letting it breathe. Even if you edit it, I don't mind. But, you know, people can go to the Seed and Spark and see that website breathe. In 4.5 minutes, you get it. It's a stand-up fucking comedy show. That's the guts of it,
like
with a lot of production around it. But if you're craving stand-up comedy, that's the guts of it.
Yeah.
But it's what happens in the street before the show. It's what happens after the show, while they're being seated. And I'm setting this up for a reason. And I have worked over the last 5 years to make this thing as tight as it fucking can be. And the joke I've had with my managers, I don't want to be the missing link. When I get the funding to put behind it, I'm not going to be the problem with it. No one's going to say, you know, just Todd this or that, you know.
Yeah.
So every slice of the show, I've worked hard. I've toured without the band this year because let's make the stand-up as tight as it can fucking be.
I love it.
And I think the only thing that could go wrong, the show's relatively a reasonably priced show to tour with, but we need the funding to promote it. If I go do it in New York, it doesn't matter how fucking great it is. I need the funding to promote it. So we started a crowdsource, and that's the goal.
What's the goal to raise?
Well, you know, it's so funny. I get scared when I mention the amount. We asked for $187,000, but you know what? Let's say we got to a certain amount, like whatever. I don't want to set my standard so low already. We'd like to shoot a documentary alongside of it. But obviously, if we choose not to do that, a huge chunk of that money falls off.
I would like the documentary, the making of, to watch your brain work from top to bottom.
And see me in the studio with the guys rehearsing. I do think that would be interesting. But nevertheless, we started a crowdsource over there, and you'll see if they go there, some of the tiers. But my goal is eventually to go to some of my comedian friends once we have the funding.
Yeah.
I think you know some of this already, and I might pay you a compliment in a second. But that's not even. I think you know. Well, maybe you don't. But once I have the money, I will be comfortable enough to go to some of my comedian friends and say, "Can I have your name?" So the goal is to eventually be able to say. I don't want to say names because then I put pressure on these people. Yeah. But to instead of one person, like blank presents. Mike Rabiglia presents Alex Edelman. That's very common. I want to have 5 people present me.
Ooh.
So if one person pays for the whole thing, well, they can get their name along with the 5 people, and they'll be big names, trust me. But that's just a pipe dream. Most likely we'll raise the money through crowdsource at Spark and Seed, and then once I have the money, I'll reach out to some of my comedian friends and say, hey, can I use your name to present me? Like literally on the billboard. Bang, 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 present Todd Glass. So, you know,
let me see, can I see what
ToddGlass.com.
the tiers are?
You
get for $250, you get a 15-minute video from Todd. All right, go to the top one.
Can I tell you something? I didn't want to have
it goes the other way. Okay. You get a special thanks in the playbill, $1,000 associate producer. Producer credit on the playbill. Keep going.
One is you get to give notes, but I don't do them.
Name the band, reserve 2 tickets, pay for all of it, and get your name on the marquee. I love that.
So my friend said, what about if it's a business? I go, first I said, no, I can't name it. What if it's, let me just make it up.
Cryptocurrency.
Rachel's Cookies. I go, I can't call the band Rachel's Cookies. You know, if it's a comedian's name, it can sound cool any night. You know, it's the Dan Richards Band. But he goes, Todd, if somebody gave $10,000, would you let him? I go, would you let him call Joey's Pizza Band? I go, you fucking bet I would. And I'll have the band go, you know what your name is? And have all of them go, we're the Joey's Pizza Band. And then the next night, whatever it is. So I will.
So if I give $10,000, I can get Bert and the Mechanics?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Maybe, why don't your fans, look, I don't want to like turn to the camera, but you know, you have a lot of fans. Why don't they start a crowdsource to raise money so we can call the Bert Kreischer Band every fucking night of the week and stop this shit? People, the power is in your hands. Bert's been nice to you guys. Give back. Start a crowdsource. Please, this could be the Bert Kreischer Band every night. 14 nights straight.
This is my favorite thing to do. Go to the people that have already donated. Can you see that list? Let's call them out.
Oh, no.
Give them shout out.
My sister-in-law donated money, and I called her, and I go, Mural, no. No, please.
But can you, community?
But I kept it.
Can you?
By the way, I would fuck a girl to sell this show. I would fuck 5 girls to sell this show. If someone said, Todd, and I don't mean that in any disrespect to women, but it's usually the other way around. Like, hey, would you blow 5 guys to? I will fuck 5 girls. If
I need a dirty pussy.
If somebody wants to shoot me, well, no, I wouldn't shoot it, but I would do it on the down low.
I would do it on the down low.
All right, enough.
Wait, can you find out?
I'm already back.
Can you find out who donated and how much they donated? That's my favorite thing to do with crowdfunding. Like I go to.
Oh my God, Rory Scovel only
gave
$13. That's embarrassing.
Well, he is dead.
He is dead, but his wife could give more. He's got money. I know.
Wait, does it show the price point?
No.
Fuck. If it showed the price point, I'd be.
But let me tell you something, Bert. I got to tell you one more thing.
Yeah.
I obsess on this show. I know what it can be. And I don't want to sound like a bad infomercial, but with music, this is sort of tying it together. There's a guy, we'll tie Instagram, TikTok, and this show together. I don't even have him yet as a promised performer, but I reached out to him. He said, hey, I like your work, blah, blah. His name is Sam Deary, and he is on Instagram, and he can shred a fucking song. Shred it. And what I wanted him to do was go out. This is the way the show opens. You can't get this powerful any other way. And go, but it is true. But have him say, you know, Todd told me, and I'm sure he feels the same way about musicians. This is my fantasies, that Sam Deary goes out and says, you know, me and Todd related about this. When I met comedians, I knew I found my people. I found my people. I think I know you know. We all feel the same way. And you know what? I might disagree with certain comedians here and there, social issues, but I love comedians, and they gave me a fucking life. I don't have to wait till years later to appreciate it. So I want to start the show by him telling that story and going, so we dedicate this song to all the comedians that Todd's met over the years, and that for once in my life, I have someone who needs me, and shred it. Now, here's the thing. Go on your own, go to YouTube, Sammy Davis Jr. for once in a lifetime. He shreds the fucking song. And I think Sam Deary could do a version of that. And we open the show like that, and then it goes, it goes black. Boom! And then I'm going to tell you this detail. This is the detail in my head. You know the snare drum?
Yeah.
We have a separate one with a piece of cardboard in there. And at the end of it, the drummer just takes his stick and he goes, for someone who needs me, boom, and sticks it through it and blackout. You know, like, what the fuck? Because I can follow that. And then it rips in, ladies and gentlemen, with the Jimmy Kimmel intro that's literally a minute and a half long, giving every credit, and then bringing me to the stage. So, like, I have every detail of this show. We end the show with singing a sing-along, you know, and so I fantasize about it. 24 hours, I lay in bed at night, I think about it, but I feel very positive it's going to happen.
It's
not a special. I don't want to shoot a special.
Yeah.
I just want to do a run of this tight fucking show.
$25. You can donate very easily, $25, and consider that your investment is something you get to see. if you're thinking $25 is a modest investment in something you get to look forward to. You'll get updates as you sign up for this. You'll get updates into your email. They're fun to fucking Todd will reply. Hey guys, we're getting close. You'll be a part of something. You'll
At
have
one
something to
price
look
point, I
forward
do an
to.
hour show for them. So I'll just record an hour show in my studio for the people that give a certain amount. I do an hour full
What's
show.
that price point?
I think that's 30,000. I'm kidding. What if it's 18? No, I don't know what it. But you know what?
Jeff Tweedy's was 25,000. I was a big fan of Wilco, and for 25,000, he would come to your living room and play a show.
Shut the fuck up.
I know. Those days are gone.
You know, Andy Frasco came over my house one night after we saw Paul Anka because we wanted to call it Anka-Palooza. And we get into my studio. He goes, will you do some of your act? I go, yeah, but you're going to do some of your fucking songs. You're not going to go up there and noodle because you don't want to do one of your hits.
Yeah.
I want the hits. I want smoke and dope and rock and roll. And then I'll go up and I went up. I did 15 minutes and I performed like it was a packed house. And then he went up and he did 3 of his hits. I got to pick them on Thanksgiving. Oh, no, after Paul Anka.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Bert, I'm going to tell you, I want to stop here. So thank you for letting me have, by the way, a very, very enjoyable conversation. Thoroughly, this just feels almost, spiritual. And then throwing so much love that way, letting that thing breathe, which obviously means the world to me. I appreciate it.
But
I
you
really
were
do.
going to pay me a compliment, I thought.
Well, I was going to say that, no one owes me anything.
No.
No one owes me anything. I'm aware of that, but that certainly you don't owe me anything. And I, like you hear, like, I don't know, like sometimes you think, well, why are you sharing a nicety with everybody? Because sometimes it's good to share niceties. But, you know this, I sent you this and about 5 months ago and you always say kind things about me. And the truth be told, I woke up one morning and I was like, Bert Kreischer, I bet he'd get the show. I send you this video. Now, look, there's other times you haven't gotten back to me right away. We'll talk about that later. It kills me. I want to commit suicide. But you texted me back within 24 hours. You go, I fucking get it.
Yeah.
You go, I want to get you on a group call with some of the people that represent you. And you go, it'll probably be good this date. Yep. 3 days later, boom, it works. And the date came. They didn't go, Bert's busy. Bert, nope. Boom, we're all on a Zoom call. And reunite with the adoption story, your manager.
Oh, Judy.
With Judy, and have that story with Judy. And we get on the phone and sort of have to tell why it pivots. So and you just say, yeah, what can we do to help this happen?
Yeah.
And shortly after that, you got a message from me because we decided that maybe it would be easier if we did a crowdsource. That way we could just sort of, but Bert, like that fucking meant a lot to me. 24 hours later, I fucking get it. You saw that video, you and I fucking get it. We got on the phone, just like you promised. We had a really nice talk. And, you don't owe me that. And it really melted my heart. And I really appreciate it. And then I was nervous. Yeah. I go, wait, if you know what I mean by it's easier to just get the funds and not have to like answer to anybody.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
it's very candidly, it's like if you're going to invest money in something, you definitely want to put your thumbprint on it and give your ideas. And as I was giving ideas, I could see that you're like, and then as in the middle of it, I was like, Todd's brain is the thing I just want to watch. I want to watch the way I'm going to give you 5 comics just off the top of my head where I go, whatever you do, I want to watch it. I just want to watch it. Like if you decide to do something, I'm into Zach Galifianakis, Sarah, Dave Chappelle, Louis, Tommy. I mean, the guys that when they decide, Tom Segura, but when they do something, those are 5 very authentic voices in comedy that know who they are, what they want, and what they want to represent, and they're unafraid to do it. And I'm telling you when I say this, you are that fucking name too. Like you, everyone's favorite comedian, and you're the one everyone goes in to see to watch you perform. You've done things to me that I remember that you don't remember. You've done things on stage that I remember and I still giggle at. When you hosted Showtime specials, they did 4 specials, Patrice O'Neill, a guy named Jim Brewer, not Jim Brewer, a guy named Jim Brewer, Gary Goldman, and one more, I forget the last one. And you were doing warm-up and you went through.
Oh, Jesus, up at the Brea Improv.
At the Brea Improv. And you said, You said real quick. You come up on stage. When Patrice is about to go on, you go, I just want to thank all the hardworking men and women on this set. I think I got their names. Everyone keep it going for Danny Sanchez, Maria Constantinople. And you went through and you listed everyone's names.
Bert, I can't believe you remember that.
And
of course, I didn't know any of their names.
You just made them up.
I made them up, like 13 or 15 of them.
And I was crying. I bought it, and then you go, I don't know any of these people. I just got the job today.
Yeah.
I just made up those names, and I was crying, laughing, going, how quick and in the moment is that brain is the thing you fantasize about having. The inauthentic rock stars must look at a guy like Kurt Cobain and go, I wish I could do more of that shit. And I was sitting in the back going, man, that is so fucking. You've consistently always done stuff like that for me. And so when we talked about this, I wanted to be involved, but I also didn't want to get in the way of it being its thing. And that's why doing this, I will tell you right now, we'll donate money to this, and I will simply say, I would wish your numbers were public, and then I will always donate more money than anyone else. So if anyone else donates money, I'll put money on top of it. You will never outbeat my donation. And I think I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see
Bert, it. Well, Bert, you know what? Like sometimes you just have to hope you said, thank you enough, because then it could get, I don't want to. I always tell people if I over thank you, look away, and I'll just keep complimenting you. But I think it comes from my heart, and I really appreciate it. Like this thing means, it's like, what I said to my brother yesterday. I go, I don't want to come up desperate. He goes, why not? I'm like, oh, you're right. Like desperate meaning, like I want to do this show so bad. And matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do. I hope this doesn't seem wrong. I'm not going to kill myself. I just want to let you know that. I'll tell you why. Because I asked my friend, that's a therapist, why am I so obsessed with the joke? He goes, you can be without wanting to kill yourself. But I don't like to also poke fun at a very serious, and we've had close friends. But what I mean is, if I do, I will leave a list of the comedians that say, over the last 20, Todd, he's such a nice guy, and now are in the financial situation to help me, that didn't. I will leave a list of their names.
Here's a special thanks?
Yeah, I'll be dead. Oh, Bert, believe me, you're fine. Bert, you're fine even if you don't give any money, just for already. But let me tell you something. You might go, Todd, are you doing this for yourself? Myself, I'll be dead. I'm worried about talk about selfless. I'm worried about a comedian that's going to go, they're going to have to go to him. Maybe it's David Spade, Didn't you know what Todd was doing? He's been so nice in the comedy community. We don't owe him shit, but don't you want to give him something? They're not going to look good. Some of these people have not responded to me getting on their podcast. Bert, boom, you got right fucking back to me. Right fucking back to me. I said, Bert, remember you said you'd help me out? 3 minutes later, on the other call, you don't get back to me. But on this one, you go, when do you want to do it? Let me share my number with this person. That person texts me. I love Todd Glass. By the way, who was that they said that? Shut the fuck up.
Oh, she loves you more. She loves you. I got to say this.
And then you gave me a date 4 days later.
I wish you weren't so fun to talk to, because I know we should wrap this up, but I got to say two things. Number one, what your brother said is fucking prolific. Why not be desperate? Why not? But my favorite one ever is we did that Zoom call, and you said, so I end my Zoom calls by
acting like I think I ended them, but I didn't. And I start yelling at my manager. I set it up. I just tell you what it is. You don't have, there's no allure. I go, hey, by the way, guys, I end the call. I think I hung up. I'm not good at it. I go, bye. I think I press that. And then you hear me talking to my manager. Bert, I can't believe you brought that up, and I'll tell you why. That's not a real manager. It's just a hypothetical manager. And I start going, oh, you just sat there like a piece of shit. And, it's off mic. I can't believe it, Alex. Oh, my God, you sat there like a piece of shit. You didn't even do anything. We look like fucking idiots. Did you see Bert's people? He's got a team of people over there, and we're sitting there like we're piles of shit. They're never going to want to work with us. And then I go, hello? And then I press end. So that's what you think. Like, this guy thinks he thought that was just with his team, his one person.
Crying, laughing, and you let it go for like 7 minutes.
I tried to keep doing it.
You kept it going, and Leanne is sitting there going,
yeah.
And
then I felt bad with my manager because he's a new manager, and I thought that has nothing to do with him. He was perfect. He let he let our conversation breathe. He was there if he was needed for facts. He did like absolutely everything you would want a manager to do. Just let everything breathe. And then I got, wait, does he think that was like me being passive aggressive to him? But anyway, Bert,
I love you to death.
Guess
God.
what? We're gonna do something.
Yeah.
What did we agree we're gonna do? Go see
Oracle Sparkle.
Orville Peck.
Orville Peck.
Orville Peck.
Orville Peck. I'm
We're
going to
gonna
get
go
into
see
his
him.
music.
And Paul Anka when he's in town. Can I tell you if I had one dream, what it would be? Well, besides selling this show, I'm not joking, we can close on this, to go see Paul Anka live with you.
Really?
You have no idea what you're in for. He's 82 years old.
He's still alive?
Yeah, and the show is, it's Andy Frasco tight. He will give you should see him. I'm telling you, Bert, I'm not kidding you. Bert, look into my eyes. No matter, I just went and saw him with Andy Frasco. I said, Andy, every musician on the planet, any entertainer should see this guy just on his longevity alone. Whatever you think, he's good for it. You think, oh, he's good for an 80-year-old? No bullshit, he's good for a 40-year-old. This fucking guy is fucking, and he wrote a billion hits. And the show is in the 21st century with the backlighting and the videos. And I'm not kidding you, Bert.
He's fucking touring.
Bert, you're an emotional guy.
Yeah.
Bert, you're a very emotional guy. And I know that if I went to see him with you, not only because it would let you know how many years you have ahead of you, but just the tight emotional show, that I would love to be with someone like you when seeing that show. But if I put it out there, then your audience knows. If they see, it's probably going to be another 8 months before he's back in L.A., but maybe he's in New York.
He's in New Jersey. He's at the Massey. I played.
Watch your mouth. Well, this was pure joy. I enjoyed this conversation with you. You're very excitable. I'm very excitable. That's what Andy Frasco has in common with us.
Let's see if David Spade replied to us. See if he cries.
By the way, he does. David Spade is the funniest motherfucker in the whole world.
David Spade sent us a voicemail.
Bert has replaced you as my friend now. And do I cry? I do, but it's always either at a commercial or at a movie, or I get caught off guard by something like that. But it's hard in real life because I'm so fucked up. But yeah, I do.
Oh, David.
It's sad. Or when I don't get a lot of likes on an Instagram.
He's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he does an impersonation of me. I can do an impersonation of him doing an impersonation of me. Like, we're walking through a casino and there's a guy singing. He goes, David, why can't they just put up a black curtain behind it and just put a wall there? It would section it off. It'd be so nice. Why can't they do that?
You're the best.
I feel like we should just sing God Bless America and ride off. No, thank you. I want to say, I think we said everything we need to say. And
God bless
some. No, I don't want to sing. That's patriotic songs. It's got a bad tone these days. Patriotic means racist.
Yeah.
Not always.
Not always.
Oh, geez, what a way to end. I kept it clean the whole show. I didn't get political.
Let's sing the Black National Anthem. You start.
What is that? We could try. Like, I could sing my way. I'll sing my way.
My way.
I mean, I'll give it my all. You're like, no, thank you.
Let's sing.
Let's just call it a night. We had a good time.
We
don't have to be people waiting in the wings. I don't know how many people you have. And I'm not trying to say this. I know you'll probably cut it out, but it's like a slave factor over here. Somebody send help.
Perfect.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.